Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and they were off to the races, building an 8-1 lead before settling for an 8-5 win over Kansas City at Fenway Park last night. Jaron Duran hit a 3-run homer.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, they're a really good baseball team, and for us to jump on them like that a little early is always a good feeling.
Brian Baio allowed 1 unearned run over 6 innings for the win. The Sox have won 6 straight. They're 2.5 games clear of both the Yankees in Seattle for the top wild card in the American League. They'll pitch Garrett Crochet against the Royals tonight. Roman Anthony was a late scratch with what's been termed mid-back tightness. He will miss this evening as well. Patriots went through another day of training camp yesterday morning in Foxborough. Mike Vrabel told the media before the workout, Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis won't practice through Wednesday, and Kendrick Bourne's out all week. In addition to those, starting center Garrett Bradbury returned. Starting right tackle Morgan Moses left early, as did defensive coordinator Terrence Williams. The team will be back out there at 10 a.m. this morning. Texas is number 1 in the first college football poll of the season. The NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament will stay at 68 teams for the upcoming season, but expansion will be discussed again next year. And former Milwaukee Bucks owner Mark Lassery has submitted a bid of over $300 million to buy the WNBA's Connecticut Sun and keep them in the state by moving them to Hartford. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
and Hardy
Who's Taylor the originator?
on 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How are we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Well, I tell her the truth, I miss Booty.
That problem is too large for the Sarge.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
And I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back
25 glasses of soda.
having some fun.
On 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Let's go. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Fred, hello. Hello, guy from Machine. Welcome.
I love Scruff.
I know you do. Scruff is... no one uses Grinder anymore, you said.
Hi, guys.
I don't know who that is.
Sarah.
Oh, hi, Sarah. That's Sarah from Everett. She walks dogs. Did you know that? That's right, Adolfo.
Yes.
That's correct.
Is that so?
Yes. All right. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Go to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and then you subscribe. That's what you do. A jam-packed show on the way today, as the Red Sox are red hot. Red hot. And we will get to that. I hope everyone had a wonderful day as we move into a terrific Tuesday. You know?
Oh, it's going to be a terrific Tuesday for you.
Why's that?
Isn't it the Toucher Tuesday?
Yeah, I already took my testosterone.
Oh. You took it this morning?
Yeah, because my daughter is coming in the next couple of weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I knew I had to get her up. So I got her up, and I was raring to go. So I took my TRT shot, testosterone replacement therapy shot, right when I got up this morning. So if I hit the gym today, I'm looking for major gains, which is. I've really been focused on it. I've been focused on, I dropped some weight. Now it's time to put some muscle on. Huh. Be prepared to put on some weight because I'm gonna be hauling a lot of weight around, tossing iron. If you understand what I'm saying.
Moving those plates.
You know, someone's got to do it. Someone has got to do it. I'm reading this article that a kid that I like, he has written about me in the past. His name is Alan Siegel, wrote about the Naked Gun movie that I saw. And how the movie industry's making comedies is kind of based on its... They're looking at this as a litmus. They're like sending this balloon up to see if they could maybe release more comedies into theaters.
Jeez, if that's true, I hope this movie kills. I really do.
Because I bet you someone somewhere, even though it's a terrible movie, and it is a terrible movie, is that, and I know people are going now like they feel like they're heroes because they say it's not terrible, that it's good. And and you're very contrarian. And you're so positive. And really a wonderful person by saying so. You're really you're going against the trend. No one liked Happy Gilmore 2. There's no way. There's no way anyone thought that was funny. I don't believe that for a second. Like as a whole, that movie was funny.
No, the last 45 minutes is unwatchable.
Right.
Like legit unwatchable. Not even if you sat there and tried.
And Adam Sandler seems like a great guy and really like a wonderful person to be friends with because, I mean, he'll take care of you for the rest of your life. You know, he'll shoehorn something in just to make sure that you're in the movie.
I think even Rob Schneider had a cameo in
He
that.
did have a cameo on it.
I thought I remembered
It's
him.
a dream of him like in a cowboy costume, like riding like on a little bike. And I don't really
2-second bit, yeah.
I don't really understand why that's funny, but regardless, nonetheless, and I'm an Adam Sandler fan. I am of the age where Adam Sandler was like the comedy guy.
No, but for this genre, the Naked Gun needs to do well.
Right.
It
so,
needs to do
but
well.
what I'm saying is so apparently Happy Gilmore, for whatever reason, it has kids have like identified with it, and however they marketed it worked and wanted to see it. And so I guess it's done very, very well on Netflix, I've read. I bet you they wish they released that in the movie theater. I know that he's got that huge deal with Netflix, and that's the point. But, I mean, if that would have gone out into the movies, I mean, that would have made a phenomenal amount of money for a comedy. And maybe that will give someone, or maybe they'll just go, no one will go out and see comedies they want to watch up at home. So I don't know.
I wonder if, like, they've probably done studies on this. Like, the reviews are different for a theatrical release versus Netflix release.
Oh,
like the same film, you know, like, and I don't know how you would study this because you would have to, do one or the other. But I imagine my gut tells me that a movie like Happy Gilmore 2 would get a higher rating as a Netflix release than it would a theatrical release.
I would guess the absolute opposite. And here's why. I just read this thing. It's a book called White, and it's a collection of essays by Bret Easton Ellis. And I think I might have talked about this on the air already, because if I read something, I want to brag about it. But he says that in this post-Empire society that we're living in, we're post-Empire.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
9/11 was the break where we're now post-Empire. We were an empire, and now we're post-Empire.
Okay.
The United States citizens don't believe that they're in part of something unstoppable.
We're not number one anymore.
Right. Yes. There's a lot of people that will tell you that. I mean, that's basically what all these elections are. We're not number one anymore. How do we get back to be number one? There's this sense that America's not the greatest now. So it's a post-Empire world, according to Bret Easton Ellis. But anyway, when you had to go to the movies to see a movie, when you had to go to the record store to buy an album, when you had to go to a bookstore to buy a book, you had a stake in it. So here's the deal, is that by going to a movie, paying the money, going there, sitting down, you were going to give that more of a chance because you had invested your time in it. Now you might feel, but you'll feel more strongly about it either way because you're sitting through it. I mean, a movie has to be such a disaster to get up and leave. I mean, I don't see it very often. And I go with my daughter to the movies all the time now, because it's just something to do, and I never see people get up and leave.
Have you ever walked out on a movie?
We walked out of a Thor movie, like I think it might have been the latest Thor movie, because it was just dark and like it was weird, like it wasn't even anything. It was just like we were kind of like, why are we even here? Like we don't even want to see this.
Yeah.
So we just got up and left. And I walked out of Fast Break when I was a little kid.
Oh, wow.
The Gabe Kaplan film. And I walked out of Ice Pirates. Those are the 3 movies I've walked out in my life.
You can make a case either way for like giving it more of a chance and like, walking out, because at home you can just like turn it off, right?
Well,
and
how do you experience it though? Like, how many movies, like first run movies, do you watch at home, and B, if you watch them, do you get all the way through?
If I'm sitting down to watch a movie at home, I think I'm more likely to finish it. It might be the next day.
More likely to finish it than if you go to a theater?
If I'm going to start watching them, yeah. Because
so you'd more likely walk out of a theater than you would stop something.
I've left the theater. I did it for that stupid Hollywood movie, Babylon. Like, left that thing.
Okay.
And I would have left other movies that I was there with my kids.
Well, yeah, but you didn't. So if you were watching it at home, would you have watched the whole thing? Would watch Babylon all the way through?
I think so.
Whoa.
No.
My friend, you are that is almost
I think I would
bizarro world.
I think I would have gone back the next day and say, okay, I got annoyed with this, but let me see how it ends.
Okay, I would argue that you are in a less than 1 percentile of people that would do that, because there's no stake in it. There's 1,000 movies on every platform, more than 1,000.
So many distractions.
This is the only way I'm thinking of it in terms of like how a reviewer would behave. It's like you're going to get up, you're going to go out, you're going to go see Happy Gilmore 2, you're going to sit down in a theater, and I haven't seen it, but my guess is. It's like a lot of movies for Netflix, Hulu, all this stuff. It's got that vaguely cheap quality to it, right?
Yes.
I don't even think this is film. Like the lighting just seems a bit off.
No, it's definitely not film.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it's like it's crappy, right? There's just something vaguely crappy about it. So if you're watching it in a theater, I would say. This is crappy. I'm going to give this 1 out of 5 stars because this doesn't feel like a real movie-going experience.
Well,
but
it wouldn't look like that at a movie, though, because it would be formatted for the movie. Like, it would be, you can't say that. It would be a movie. Like, movies look like different than Netflix movies because I'm sure that they're formatted in a different way. So it wouldn't look, so that's not a valid argument because it wouldn't look like that. But if you saw, the basic thing is that doesn't even matter. It's just the content of it. If you don't like something that is on streaming, what I would think the vast majority of people would do is go 10 minutes in, and turn it off, which is what I would do, which is what I do. And I don't even really watch streaming movies. I can't. The idea of sitting down in my living room and watching something for 2 hours is almost unfathomable.
See,
to me.
I sat down with the whole family, watched Hubie Halloween, the Adam Sandler thing. We watched it at home, and I watched it from start to finish. And I said that was the biggest piece of crap I've ever sat through. And had I been in a movie theater, I would have left.
So I believe my kids and I sat down to watch Hubie Halloween, and I believe that we watched 5 minutes of it and went, "This is crap," and then turned it off. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
Zoe's eyes just rolled into the back of her head when you started talking about.
Well, I didn't watch it. I stopped watching it 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
So what?
I was with you, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I can assure you of that, my dear. And if I might have been on the, you know what? In fairness, I might have been on the couch, and then what did I do? What do you think I did on the couch?
Fell asleep.
No, picked
went
up
on your
my
phone.
Oh, picked
Yeah,
up your
you go on
phone.
your
because at the movie theater, you put your phone down. Part of the reason I take Zoe to the movies is that
Sodas.
Well, that's my angle.
Well, that
Yeah. They got that soda machine. Don't worry about it.
it's-
Is that no? But I do. For a kid, I think experiencing, even if it's crap, long form entertainment it's almost like going to the ballet now. Like if you go to see The Naked Gun and sit there for 84 minutes without your phone, like you've just experienced a long piece of narrative. And I think that that's like infinitely valuable for a kid. Yeah. I don't care what it is. Yeah. Like I don't care if it's some snuff film, whatever. No, whatever it is, like I don't really care. It could be like total like pap garbage, but it just the exercise of like paying attention to something for an hour and a half or 2 hours without your phone. That's something like I'm strong with her brother. I've already who knows. what he's up to. But with her, because she's more of like a fan of like art and stuff, like music and film and stuff, is that I think that's like infinitely valuable to her. So I will not pick up my phone during a movie. And I know it, like we saw Bad Guys 2, right?
Yeah.
So Bad Guys 2 is fine. Like it's not even a bad movie. It's an animated film. But if I was at home, there's no way in a million years. There's stuff I like. I can't get through an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I watched the new King of the Hill last night. I watched 2 episodes of it, and I love King of the Hill, and it's good. The new ones are good, like actually good and clever, like the way that they did it. They're not just a reboot. It's like them 10 years later, and Bobby's an adult and stuff, and like it's really, really well done. The guy that died, that voices those characters, the guy who's doing it now, you can't tell a difference between their voices. It's pretty weird. And I even was like, what are you doing, Fred? Like, you're picking up your phone. Like, this is 22 minutes long, and you can't sit through this. And so I had to force myself not to pick up my phone. The movie theater, I can do that. Well, Brett Easton Ellis's thing is this, is that you were somehow invested in it. Like, by buying that I'll give you an example. So, like, say you hear a song and you like the song. And you're not like overly like a huge fan of the artist, and you go like, would you even listen to the album? And if you did listen to the album, how much of the album would you listen to? If you go to like buy a compact disc back in the day and you bought the album, the chances of you experiencing more of that album are like 1,000 times more because you bought it. And not even that you spent money on it, but that you walked or drove and walked into the store.
Shows
and
that
like,
particular thing.
And got the tactile object and like bought it. Like you are invested in the piece of art.
Yeah.
Like by streaming it or on Spotify, you're not at all invested in it. Even ordering something on Amazon in a degree, you're not as invested in it. It just shows up at your house. Like going to the brick and mortar establishment and like with the mission of going and getting it, picking it up, buying it and taking it home, you are therefore like an investor in it, and you're going to give it more of a shot. Now, I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if that makes you like it more or not.
Yeah, and so the more of a shot thing is valid. I don't know how that would equate to a higher,
maybe you're right.
Review.
Maybe you're right. I just maybe was in a rush to get to brag that I read a collection of essays, but but in seriousness, I have thought about that a lot. Like, maybe with like AI, a lot of what I'm hoping happens in terms of art, and I'm using art loosely. Like, I mean, Happy Gilmore 2 is a piece of art. I mean, it's a script that was written and filmed, and I mean, there's artistic stuff that you have to know how to do it in order to make it. It might be bad, but it is art. So anyway, maybe with like everything being, I'm just hoping with AI, when everything's fake on the internet, people just kind of go, all right, well, this is all fake and crap, and I know that this is real, so I'm gonna go see that. I'm hoping people don't go, I don't care. My big concern, and then it gets trippy, is if you think no one's gonna care and like reality doesn't matter anymore. That's my, like, because they're doing it already. There's an AI artist that's been signed to a major label. There's a guy who makes AI music, has been signed to a major label. First one, not a major label necessarily, but a label. So that was news.
That's terrific.
So right.
Wonderful.
So what if no one cares? And they're like, dude, it sounds good. I don't care. And you're like, well, no one made that. That's just a computer made that. And they're like, so? Yeah. It's awesome.
Right.
Well, no one, a human didn't write those lyrics. Like, they're not expressing a sentiment. Well, there's a movement now in rap where, like, you'll hear rappers go, like, the lyrics don't matter. And I've heard other rappers talking about this and going, like, what is this? Like, they don't, can you imagine saying that 20 years ago? And they don't care about him to a point where there's a term for it that I can't remember off the top of my head. Remember how I told you that when Zoe and I go to a concert, the rap play, like they just play the album.
They just play the album.
Yeah,
they just kind of stand up there.
That was Boogie with a Hoodie, right?
A Boogie with the Hoodie. Whatever. Lil Yachty did it. Like these, and I guess it's called something, and it's like what people do now. because the lyrics don't matter. It's like I'm standing here, they're playing my album, it doesn't matter, my raps don't matter, no one cares. What I'm saying is of no difference, and that's kind of an expression of that. It's just the way it sounds.
That's depressing. That's really depressing. The last 5 minutes has been very depressing to me.
Well, it's more than that. It's weird. Like if something being real and at least processed through a human doesn't matter to anyone, then you're really living in then it gets like sci-fi-y, like.
Yeah, all those movies we saw a while ago are real.
Right, that people just can't. And then what's reality and what's not reality? Can you distinguish between the two?
But that's just it. That was a cautionary tale back then, and you looked at those movies and you went, boy, that sucks.
Say you're agoraphobic and you never leave the house. Like if you are watching TV or listening to music, it's still an expression of another human being. Imagine if you're someone who orders all the food online without contact and without talking to anyone, who does all their necessary calls for utilities through an AI service, and every piece of art or every piece of media that they consume is done through a computer, has never been a human. You could literally live in a world where you do not even intake human content. That nothing has been expressed through a human being. It's all a computer simulation, so you are living in a simulated world. 95% of your world is simulated. You're programming, which won't be a job anymore, but you're doing whatever on your computer at home, and everything that you're experiencing and taking in is through a computer. So you basically are literally not having human contact.
No, it's a complete virtual existence.
Exactly. And then what does that do for people's morals? What does that do for people's human connection? Can you live like that?
You're talking about killing off society piece by piece here.
I'm talking about,
That's what this is.
Well, yeah, that you're basically living in an acid trip where nothing is really, there's nothing concrete about it. And, a lot of psychiatrists would tell you that people are, humans need to be around each other, that we're tribal and, it's part of our instinct, and if you take that away...
But then COVID happened, and that was the first germ of all of this.
You saw that,
yes.
And now people don't even want to go to work anymore because they get more done, in quotations, when they're at home.
Oh.
And so, I know people that have gotten jobs and said no because you had to go in. And so, what are you going to do? I don't want to go in. I don't want to get in my car. I don't want to drive with other people on the road. I don't want to be in an office with other people. I get distracted. Well, sorry that people distract you. It's I'm sorry that that's such a hill for you to climb, that there are people around and they're getting in the way of your work, which I find asinine that you can't. Meanwhile, you can sit at Starbucks and jerk off for 5 hours, on a computer, but you can't be at an office. People can't get into a Starbucks fast enough and take up a table for 6 hours.
There's always someone in the corner.
Someone. There's always 10 people, and I don't even drink coffee. I can tell you every time I've been in a Starbucks, there's 10 a-holes sitting around, playing around with the computer.
Panera's a close second, but I think you're right.
Yeah. But they can't go to work, but they can do that. Anyway. And then what is your value of human life at that point? If you never deal with humans, what do you care what happens to them? And then what do politics become? If you're voting if you're voting from home, which you can do, and you're basing your vote completely on your complete disinterest with human condition, I mean, what are you doing? And you don't care about anything. Or the things you care about have been told to you through a computer.
We need to stop. I can't. This is too depressing for me. We need to move on.
I've never heard John Wallach call for a break before.
We need to move on.
I'm kind of pleased. I freaked him out.
You need to please stop.
Yeah, it's weird when you think about it, right?
That's really
it's disturbing.
I'm choosing at this moment not to think about this anymore.
Well, you're going to have to think about it soon. Because
I can put it off until the time comes. I don't want to deal with this right now.
It might be this year, so get used to it.
You seriously have freaked me out to the point where we need to move on.
Fine, we will move on.
Thank you.
All right, we will be back and talk about sports, which I believe happened, but you can't be sure, in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
You've got to try the new burgers at the Nines. Bigger, bolder, and beefier. Our half-pound, 100% American Angus beef is sure to please. Try the new bourbon onion burger and get more ang for your buck. You gotta love the Nines.
Attention skilled tradespeople and sales pros. Are you ready to join a team where your hard work is valued and your career can thrive? Gem Plumbing and Heating has 2 new branch offices in Massachusetts and is hiring. We're looking for HVAC, plumbing, electrical, drain, and sales professionals who are ready to take their careers to the next level. Enjoy competitive pay, benefits, and a supportive team environment. Plus, we're offering attractive sign-on bonuses. Don't wait. To join our growing team, apply at AskGem.com today.
Hey, it's Sean Flaherty, managing partner at Catches Law. At Catches, we don't just work here, we live here. We're part of the same neighborhoods, the same schools, the same New England towns that you call home. So when life hits hard and you need someone in your corner, you deserve lawyers who truly understand what's at stake. With over 40 years of experience,
Tonight's What Happened Last Night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened, so change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going down?
Red Sox last night opened up a set against the Kansas City Royals. Now, we've been talking an awful lot of Red Sox lately, and for good reason. After winning series against the Dodgers and the Twins and then completing a sweep against Houston, how would they keep this thing rolling? Would they be able to keep this thing rolling? And Jarren Duran had an answer pretty early on.
High fly, dead away center field. Isbell turning. She's gone. Jarren Duran crushing one to center.
Oh, Hall & Oates. Oh, he Hall & Oates it.
Crushed one to center?
Nope.
All right, hold on. Let's get it again.
Turning. She's gone.
Oh, okay. This is a fun game.
I backed it up just enough.
The reference.
I backed it up just enough. Let's see if there's another one in there.
Jarren Duran crushing one to center. And the Red Sox blow up early.
Forget about that one run. Give me three. Nothing better than a three-run homer. Maybe a grand slam.
Yeah,
what's going on? Why is Donnie Wahlberg in the booth? Doesn't that sound like Donnie Wahlberg? It sounds like Mark Wahlberg a little bit. There you go.
So he will chase.
Oh, hold on. All right, let's move on here. Oh, Brian Bayo on the mound last night. He was your starting pitcher. How did he do?
Swing and a miss. He went fishing on the sweeper. He came up empty for strike three.
That's one thing he will do, though. He will chase.
Again, 6 innings for Brian Bayo.
Yes.
Well, he made it through 6. He gave up 1 unearned run, but he had some massive problems he kind of danced out of in the middle of that. The game could have been a lot different in the 3rd and 4th innings. Duran had to make a great catch to save 1 run, and then there was a bases loaded 1-out situation in the 3rd that Bayo got out of. So the game could have been much different than it turned out.
Yes, Cora after the game was first to admit that.
Did a good job. Wasn't great, but he can do that now. 6 innings, 1 run, give us a chance to win, make pitches when he needed to. That's a tough lineup because they put the ball in play. The bottom part of the lineup, they do a good job fouling off pitches and all that, but he stay calm and make pitches and give us a chance.
All right. So this game was pretty much over. Yeah, but had it on anyway. It's 8-1. After 7, did make it a little bit interesting. Just
really, a little bit. Okay,
tiny bit interesting.
Yeah.
Now Garcia pounds one to left field, and that is over the monster with a line drive. Great to see this drive, man. 2 in a row here. Back-to-back jacks. The 19th for Vinny and the 11th for Michael Garcia on a shot on a line.
It's like a gay Jack and Jill. Went up a hill to do gay stuff.
Okay. I don't know how you move on from that.
I'm not going to. Jorge Alcala on the mound last night.
Hey, get in the car.
Back-to-back solo home runs, and it was a fantastic play. I'm going to say that. Just right from the very beginning. Abreu makes a great throw here. Why they sent the runner, I'm not sure.
Swinging a line drive, base hit right field. Here comes the run. Abreu firing home. Here's the tag, and he got him. He hangs on. Out number 3.
Yeah.
Lofton nailed at the plate. Take a look.
Let me introduce you to William Abreu.
Well, what are you doing in that? It was a hit, but it was into shallow right, and it was for anyone to score from second was a tall order. He was out by 10 feet.
Easily 10 feet, and Abreu's a gold glover. It was a dumb mistake. But, Fred, just to back it up, the Red Sox went into the 8th inning up 8-1. They brought in Jorge Alcala, who throws 98 miles an hour everywhere but the strike zone. Gives up back-to-back home runs to start. So it was an 8-1 game. And Bobby Witt was the hitter in that clip.
Yeah.
It was 8-5 with 2 runners on, and Witt was the
why
tying
do you,
run at the plate.
Yeah, why do you send the runner? That's a meaningless run.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like
that's correct.
Like that run doesn't do you any good.
So Witt signals you hold the runner at third.
Yes.
You have the bases
Load
loaded
the bases.
for the 3-hitter,
And this
who
guy
is a lefty.
And this guy is stuck and bleeding. He is bleeding out on the mound.
Yes.
Yes, I don't. Yeah,
the entire bullpen bled out in that inning. It was awful.
I mean, that would be a situation that you would be incredibly conservative in because that run doesn't do me any good. The bases loaded does me good but that run's not doing me any good. So why would I risk it? Why would I sell out for that?
Yeah.
If it was tied on the road, I get it.
Sure. Exactly.
But you take a chance. But yeah, in that situation, you would be exceedingly conservative.
But it was a high wire act. It was an 8-1 game, and then it's an 8-5 game with the tying run at the plate in the same inning.
Right.
And then you bring on Chapman, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is a luxury. Okay, I have a question for you because on the way in, I heard the radio call. It was on ESPN. I listen to ESPN unless it's summer a lot of times because it's a lot of WNBA talk, which I don't care about. I know that's in some fashion
careful.
Really,
really angers people.
Really, it's punching down at this point. But I did listen to it, and it said the last out happens, and they go, the Sox blow them out. I'm not making it up. The guy goes, the Sox blow them out. And I'm like, wait a second. The game was 8-5, I thought. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I wonder if I made a mistake. Like if the Red Sox, somehow I got to score at the wrong time or something. And I'm like, no, they won by 3 runs. That's considered a blowout now. Isn't that a safe situation?
Yes.
That's a safe situation.
It is a safe situation.
Yeah, so how do you blow someone out if it's a safe situation?
You don't. It was a blowout until the 8th inning.
I mean, the Pirates won a game last night. They scored 2 runs in the 9th. I mean, if they hadn't scored those 2 runs, would it have been a blowout? I don't understand. What am I going to – wait, I don't like it.
Blew them out if you don't count what Alcala and Wilson did. Other than that, they blew them out.
Yeah, it sounds like, again, there's you don't have to sell it. People are excited by the team. I mean, people are excited by this Red Sox team. And a guy emailed me, he goes, did they remind you of the Cardinals of the 80s? And I guess I kind of understand what he's saying. But not really. I mean, the Cardinals of the 80s didn't hit home runs and they stole consistently. I mean, everyone except for Jack Clark could run, including Terry Pendleton, who you wouldn't think.
Back then, Pendleton wasn't exactly as large as he wound up being.
He wasn't small, but but he could run back then. But I guess I kind of understand because it's more positionless. It's not traditional in the lineup.
Guys can hit all over the place in any given night.
But the thing is that the Cardinals had it doesn't matter. I'll just do it for 2 more seconds. But the Cardinals had a consistent lineup. Like it was the same lineup every night. So I kind of get the vibe, but no, I don't think they're similar.
One more question remaining, though, as Roman Anthony was pulled with 10 minutes left.
10 minutes before first pitch.
Yeah. So Cora was asked about that after the game.
What's going on with Roman? Tight back.
So, think he'll play tomorrow?
No, I'll stay away from him tomorrow.
Yeah, good. Yep.
It's the right thing to do.
Exactly. Yep. Don't get a kid hurt.
No, especially that kid. Don't mess with that kid.
No.
I don't care what time of year it is. You leave that kid alone.
Yeah. If he's complaining about a tight back, let's not aggravate this thing.
It's funny, the video of it, he went out and he jogged out to the foul line to stretch, as they do before every game, and all of a sudden he just pulls up and starts twisting his back. You could see it happen in real time, how he went from fine to uncomfortable, and the trainer went out there and like a shot, they had him off the field.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking a lot of swings. By this time of year, you've taken, 100,000 swings or some nonsense like your back, you can't mess with that.
Next 2 nights, interesting for the Red Sox. Again, Garrett Crochet is going to pass his career high in innings pitched tonight.
That's why he didn't start last time,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
They're managing his innings
They've
pretty
moved
tightly.
him. They're doing their very best to move him back, and they were saying last night during the TV broadcast that they've already moved his next start bat by an extra day. He'll pitch on the 6th day instead of the 5th day after this one. So they're doing their best to mitigate it, but as time goes on, I'm curious if the workload's going to get to him, and then you have Dustin May making his Red Sox debut tomorrow evening.
And what's funny about the giving him an extra day is it's complete guesswork.
Of course.
There's no real science to like doing that. It's there again. There's that Jeff Passan book, The Arm, and it's pretty interesting. Like, there's no
The Arm in the Fall.
No, Passan. Guess what? That's boring crap. Where are the boobs and sex and oral and the blowing up? Where's everyone missing stuff? Nothing. What body parts did they find?
Is there even one page devoted to somebody beating another person with a body part? No?
Yeah, gross. There was still veins hanging out of it. Gross enough for you? Is that seaweed or guts?
Controversy.
Yeah, but there's like really no science to it. And maybe they think by pushing him back, he's not going to ultimately throw as much, but the extra day's rest.
You got it, but if you're the Red Sox, you got to do something.
No, you do.
This is what they've chosen to do. At least they have a plan.
The only thing that you could really do is just like have him skip starts, and then the wear on his arm is less.
But the back end of that is he gets a little rusty. Maybe he loses feel, and that you're now on the hunt for a playoff spot.
And that's individual. That's based on the individual. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't. That's a tightrope you have to walk.
That's kind of my point I was making, is that there's really no science to it. It's really just you're going by, okay, like I guess an extra day couldn't hurt. Because some days, some pitchers, they'll pitch, and then 2 days later, their arms feels looser than it did before they pitched the first time. So it's not. I mean, not if they're a starter, but like a reliever.
You figure he's got what, 8-9 starts left, something like that.
Well, there's 50 games left. He's got. If there's 50 games left, he's probably got 8 starts left.
Yeah,
and so probably 8. Yeah. And we'll see. Yeah, you are right, though. Crochet's performance now that he's going deeper than he has before is going to be interesting.
Again, let me repeat that. Tonight he's going to pass his career high in innings pitched for one season. And we're still in the first week of August.
I think part of the reason they made that trade is his size.
He's going to pitch a lot more than he ever has before. That's great.
He should be able to take it. That kid's huge.
I mean, a lot more.
Yeah, we're going to blow through that by about 50 innings this year.
Yeah,
it worked wonders for Houck last year.
This isn't Chris Sale.
Different guy.
Houck's not a small guy. Houck's about 6'5", 220. Yeah.
All right.
What happened to him? Oh, Tommy John. That's right.
Well, that's just going to happen. Tommy John.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
That's right. He's out for the season.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy John. If Tommy John's going to happen, it's just going to happen. All right. We'll be back in just a moment to hear the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox got 5 in the bottom of the first inning. They went on to win again last night, 8-5 over Kansas City at Fenway Park. That's 6 straight for the Red Sox. They're 2.5 games clear of the Yankees in Seattle for the top wild card spot in the American League. Garrett Crochet faces the Royals at Fenway Park tonight. Roman Anthony out last night. He's out again tonight with mid-back tightness. Patriots went through another training camp practice yesterday. Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, and Kendrick Bourne all missing. Bourne is expected to miss the entire week after hurting himself in that in-stadium scrimmage on Friday night. Morgan Moses left practice early yesterday as well. Practice again starts at 10 a.m. this morning in Foxborough. And last but not least, the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament will stay at 68 teams for this upcoming season. Expansion will be discussed again a year from now. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the McGovern Automotive Group. McGovern and 98.5 The Sports Hub are giving away a brand new Ford F-150. For more info on how to enter, follow 98.5 The Sports Hub and McGovern Auto Group on Instagram. Complete rules and details at 98.5thesportshub.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Let's go. Let's ride.
98.5.
Like, let's roll the dice.
Name to this Sports Fitness and Nutrition Council, including Bryson DeChambeau, who's going to teach everybody how to pack on 40 pounds.
In 1 year.
In 1 year, and then take
All
it
muscle.
off. And then put it back on, and then take it off again. Gary Bettman, Nick Bosa, Harrison Butker, Cody Campbell, Roger Goodell, Wayne Gretzky, Nelly Korda, Triple H, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, who's from South Africa, Mariano Rivera, Tony Romo, Annika Sorenstam, Sweden, Tua Tagovailoa, Lawrence Taylor, Matthew Tkachuk, and Mariano Rivera again. Threw him in there twice.
Wow.
Okay? That's great. Except Saquon Barkley was asked about it. He was like, huh?
A couple months ago, it was brought to my team about the council, so I'm not really too familiar with it. I felt like that, going to be super busy. So, me and my family thought probably it's the best interest to not accept that. So was definitely a little shocked when my name was mentioned. But, I'm assuming it's something great, so I appreciate it, but was a little shocked when my name was mentioned.
Yeah, he had enough of that when it came out that he played golf before that he had played golf with the president. I'm sure, regardless of his political views, because I actually don't know. I'm not just saying that to cover myself. I don't know what Saquon Barkley, who he likes, but I would imagine that he was like, I played golf with the president and I got all this crap. Like, well, I don't need this. I'm not going on some fluff crap, athletic board so people can just yell at me. So,
right.
Like, and he was probably like, when his name came up, he was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I can't get away from this guy. And then so he had to go out and say that because who needs it? That's the same thing.
Well, as you just said it on this, do you want to join this council of nothing that's not going to do anything? Yeah, I mean, Bryson DeChambeau. Hey, I know you're getting ready to play in 4 major championships next year, but we need you to come to the White House for meetings on the sports. No, I'm not doing anything.
It's not even that, because I'm sure you don't even have to go to the White House. What I'm guessing is, do you want to be asked about it before every major? Like, do you want it to be like a constant topic of conversation like it was for Saquon Barkley? And I guess the answer to that would be no. I'm telling you, it's like the podcast. Like these guys that want to be comedians, that are comedians, not want to be, that are comedians, they start a podcast because Mark Maron did it. And then they sit around with their friends and they do a podcast. And all of a sudden, they get an offer to have Donald Trump on before the election. And they go, yeah, cool. Like this, we're going to get it like really high ratings. And you have him on and you become part of and then you start endorsing him. And then the election comes and he wins. And now everyone goes, now you're on Fox News. Now they're playing your interview on CNN and on MSNBC. And now you're a piece of the political structure. And now half the country goes, well, you're not a comedian anymore. You're a political consultant. Like you're a political voice. And not like in a Carlin way, but like in a very real, like you're part of the political narrative. And now you're like, oh, I just want to be a comedian again. And they're like, no. Like, this is your life now. This is what you are, Nelk Boys. Now you have to have, like, a guy from Palestine on because you had the Prime Minister of Israel on, even though you have no idea what the hell's going on. And you sat down. And now, guess what? You're thrust into this world where half the world, like, legitimately hates you. Not hates you because you made a bad joke. Hates you. And now you need security, and now you need all this stuff. Well done.
Yeah.
Like, well done. Hey, I'm just a comic. Not anymore, dickhead, and you never will be. Guess what? You threw yourself in it, and you couldn't get into it fast enough, and now you got to deal with the repercussions. And that's just the way that it is. We're in such a sensitive world, and it's one thing to, like, make political comments. It's another thing to become part of the campaign. And once you've done that, and if you enjoy the influence of people saying that you swung voters to a certain guy, and then when that guy gets elected, you start to backpedal on it. No, you can't, because the die has been cast. Once your interview is being shown on news as news, That's what you are now. And now you're not a comedian anymore. You're a political analyst, even though you might not know anything about politics. This whole wave of people that are completely unqualified and know about as much as I do. I can be completely honest with you. I swear to God, this is true. If a presidential candidate wanted to come on this show, I would say no. I would say no. No way. Because not now. I would have 20 years ago, but I wouldn't now.
No, because you're going to be drawn into it. And, I mean, forget about the fact that I don't feel equipped to have, like, a real conversation and interview. And even if they say, no, it's not going to be about any kind of policy. It's not going to be about anything serious. Doesn't matter. I don't want to be part of that.
The thing is that I don't know enough to push back. So what it would be is this line of BS, and it's all happening. And then I watched like some dude dissect the interview and like I'm being lied to and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
There has to be a point where you go like, I'm ill-equipped. This is too important. I'm ill-equipped for this. I don't want to be around it. 20 years ago, you could have a president on, a presidential, and it's a great honor. And like the guy comes on and like, you know, there was like a certain gravitas to that because presidents didn't do stuff like that. But now that they are slumming around doing whatever, you know, everyone is. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of the strategy. I think you're well smart to go, you know what? I wouldn't be playing arenas if it wasn't for this podcast. I'm already playing arenas. Maybe it's best I stay out of this because maybe I realize I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. Like it's easy to make sweeping political statements and jokes that are just like based on, you know, like fluff opinion. But then when there's the guy who's making the decisions in front of you, talking about stuff they did or didn't do or policies or lying to you, and you're just sitting there like one of the bros listening to it and we're just having a conversation. Well, you're not pushing back. You're letting this narrative get out that's maybe not true. And if I had one of them on, I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. I wouldn't know how to push back. I saw Charlamagne the God on Laura Trump's show because it was made that there was this big deal about how he was on Fox News and Trump got all mad at him. And I could tell she's pushing back and Charlamagne the God at some point doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And she doesn't know the whole thing. No. Stephen A. Smith does it now. No. Yeah. I think it's a very, very, very bad idea.
You mentioned Stephen A. Smith. He is dipping his toe in and
dipping his toe in.
Somebody was foolish enough to say, you know, you should run for president next time, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And now, over the last Fred, 6 months?
Oh, you can tell he's thinking about it.
No, he's got a political show now, and he's on that Cuomo show that he has with not Hannity, but the other guy from Fox, not Tucker Carlson or Hannity, but the other one. O'Reilly. It's O'Reilly, Cuomo, and him. So, yeah, like,
but
there's money to be made, but if you're going to do that, that's what you do. You can't do both.
He might not necessarily be good at this, and he's got a pretty damn good media career walking his own side of the street. I mean, why leave that behind? He's making tens of millions of dollars doing what he does.
And the safest,
why would you move over to the other side?
And if you're going to be a political commentator, you have to be completely locked in on your opinion and completely have everything tied up. And plus, if there's a lot of money to be made, but then you can't do anything else.
That's what I'm saying. He's great at what he does.
Yeah, I know.
Why change? Who's giving him advice like this?
I don't know. He's got he lives in a green screen prison. I don't know why he'd want to do it.
Oh,
all right.
My God.
Well, we will be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucherin.
your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have...
For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox won yet again last night, scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning on their way to an 8-5 victory over Kansas City at Fenway Park. Jaron Duran hit an early 3-run homer, and then the Sox almost let an 8-1 lead get away before Aroldis Chapman shut the Royals down in the ninth. Roman Anthony was a late scratch with mid-back tightness. He's expected to sit tonight as well as this 3-game series continues. Garrett Crochet will start. As for the Patriots, they were without a few players yesterday at camp and lost a couple more. Mike Vrabel had an update on his 2 starting cornerbacks, Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis.
Other than that, I wouldn't expect them here at practice today, and probably not against Washington on Wednesday.
He added that wide receiver Kendrick Bourne will miss the entire week after injuring himself on Friday night. Morgan Moses left practice early yesterday, along with defensive coordinator Terrence Williams. Practice, it is supposed to be a walkthrough, starts at 10 a.m. this morning in Foxborough. In college football news, Texas is number 1 in the first college poll, in the coaches poll rather. They're followed by Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and Notre Dame. And former Milwaukee Bucks owner Mark Lassery submitted a bid of over $300 million to purchase the WNBA's Connecticut Sun and keep them in the state by moving them to Hartford. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, keeping drains flowing for homes and businesses in the greater Boston area since 1976. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Pat's training camp is coming, and we'll be there to bring you every drill, every scrimmage and preseason game as the Pats get ready for a new season of football. On your home for all things Patriots, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by, never mind. We are on YouTube. You can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and watch us live every day. You can watch Joe Murray, too, Alex Barth from Pat's Camp, all those things up there. All the shows, highlights, all that up on the 98.5 Sports Hub page on YouTube. Hardy, you have found, as we love lists, we do love lists.
Great list here. Fantastic list.
Made by some very smart people.
Maybe some of the best people. Maybe there could be the best list ever of the best action movie every year of the 1990s. So,
this would be a giveaway for one of them, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're not going to guess what the movies are, John. Instead, what we are going to do is take a deep dive into the psyche of one Fred Toucher, who almost is insistent upon his avoidance of popular culture. Now, some of this he claims is not his fault, as he was a college student, if you can call it that, if you attend Rollins College. I mean, it's a place where you go, and I guess he went to class and stuff, but come on. But he says he just had very little exposure to popular culture while he was in college for a good chunk of the mid-'90s. And
college and then post-college. So about 93 to like 2001
Right.
is a blank space of popular culture.
Still have not seen the movie Predator.
No.
Okay.
Okay, and that's a 1980s movie, and that's one that kind of made me think about this in terms of, John, you and I will discuss each of these best movies of the 1990s only under the context of, has Fred seen it?
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And just know going in, I'm guessing that you and I and 90% of our audience have seen all of these movies, or at least 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, so here we go. We're going to begin with, according to ScreenCrush.com, which is a fantastic website, maybe the best website for reviewing and naming the best action films for each year of the 90s.
Very smart people.
Very smart people have chosen from 1990 the Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle known as Total Recall. Has Fred Toucher seen Total Recall?
I'm going to say, yeah, we've had a lot of discussion about Arnold and how he likes to narrate his own movies, go back to DVD
here's
box
the
set.
one where the lady
Yeah.
looks the fat lady. She
And
goes
that-
through the security.
That
look
was
at her, now she's not
specifically
fat.
about Total Recall,
That's-
so I'm going to say he has seen this.
Yes, he just described the scene from Total Recall, and whether he knows that just from the Arnold part
There's
or
a
actually seen
three-boobed
it.
lady I know is very
Yes.
popular in that culture.
Okay, so is he trying to throw us off with this?
I think
he's got an awful lot of knowledge of the movie. John and I both say yes, you've
Yes.
seen it. Fred,
Total Recall is the one.
get your ass to Mars.
I believe I have seen Total Recall because they're remaking the other one that Schwarzenegger did, the Stephen King one with the Running Man.
Oh, yeah.
With the guy from Twisters.
Glenn Powell, yes. I've seen that.
I like that
Yes.
you know his name
Yes.
because he is.
Well, he was in Top Gun Maverick, Glenn Powell.
Yeah, I know. He's really something. He's vanilla looking a human being as possible. Like he's just translucent.
Well, this is going
with
to
how
change
plain
this,
he is.
This movie's going to change everything. He's got attitude in this movie.
Right. That needed to be made. I mean, this guy has got no effing. He's in Top Gun, Twisters, in the remake of Total Recall.
Yep.
Not Total Recall, but The Running Man.
Yeah.
All this guy does is refurbish crap. He's like, I'm your man. Now they're paying him, so I don't blame him.
And he's good looking, but I've seen like a couple of his movies. I can't tell you like one thing about him other than he's a good looking guy.
I'd imagine that he's good looking, but not maybe in a way that is like heartthrobby to women. Like he looks more of like women usually like.
He looks like a magazine ad good looking.
Yeah, like I think it's more of that's more of a. You know, women are strange with that stuff. Now, like women like a handsome man, like a Rob Lowe, is undeniably handsome, but this guy is a little plain, I'd imagine. If you're a woman and you would like to argue the merits of this man's beauty, what's his name again?
Glenn Powell, I believe.
Glenn Powell. It's Colin Powell's kid. 617-779-0985. If you're a woman and you could educate us on your thoughts of the looks of Glenn Powell. So many of you women say you listen.
While you,
I challenge that on a daily basis.
While you dial, has Fred seen 1991's best action film, another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Terminator 2, Judgment Day?
Again, it's Schwarzenegger.
Hasta la vista, baby.
This is the one with liquid metal.
Yeah, that's the one with
liquid metal.
The lead singer of Filter's brother.
Is that right?
Is the liquid metal Terminator. Richard Patrick of Filter, his brother Robert Patrick is.
I didn't know Robert Patrick was Richard Patrick's brother.
Yes.
I know who Robert Patrick is. He hosted Saturday Night Live one time, I believe.
I'm going to say Fred has not seen Terminator 2.
Yeah,
everyone has seen Terminator 2. Fred's the one guy who hasn't seen it.
This discussion is leading. This specific last 30 seconds is leading me in that direction. I say you have not seen that movie.
I have not seen Terminator 2.
Yeah. As soon as you said liquid metal, no.
I have no,
not a chance.
I don't know why I would. First of all, Linda Hamilton is not an attractive woman.
Oh, but she's working out at the beginning. She's ripped.
Jacked in that movie.
There was a generation of women who wanted the Linda Hamilton Terminator 2 body.
There was a generation of men, and this has been exploited in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that like were going to movies for very funny reasons. Like a army of men were going to movies to look at dudes with their shirts off, like ripped yoked dudes with their shirts off. I mean, you got to process that for a little bit. Like there in the 80s and 90s, movies were made explicitly to show off muscular men's bodies. You know, like Rocky IV is like an erotic. If you were gay dudes used to buy GQ magazine because you know I'm on this this Condé Nast kick. Gay guys used GQ was essentially in the 80s just a license for like young gay people to have like stuff that they could play with themselves to, and that's the publishers were aware of that when Esquire owned it. And I have a feeling a lot of gay fantasies were created during the 80s and 90s by these blockbusters.
Right on.
I'm so straight. Who cares?
All right. We're going to change this one up, John. This is a movie that everybody has seen. It's on cable still all the time. Let's see if Fred can even identify it from its most iconic line.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Oh, I know this movie. This is not an action movie. I would call this a suspense thriller.
What's the movie?
The Fugitive.
Has he seen it?
Yes.
Based on that, I'm going to say yes, too.
He has seen it.
Yeah, that's not an action movie.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, of course. Of course, Tommy Lee Jones.
I don't care.
We can skip over 1992, which Hardy did. The John Woo movie, Hard Boiled.
I don't.
No way he's seen
I didn't
that.
see that.
Yeah, so, there we go.
No, I've not seen Hard Boiled.
God.
That one we don't even have to.
That sounds like
a time on.
That sounds like a Danny DeVito comedy from the 80s, like down.
You know what?
Hard Boiled.
Let's skip these next two. 1994's Drunken Master 2 with Jackie Chan.
Yes.
No chance he's seen it.
I've actually seen that.
I'm sure. Okay, I get it. But Fred, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. And I'm going to double down on 1995.
That's me with the Golden Girls on in 2002. I was the Drunken Master.
Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, GoldenEye. No chance Fred saw GoldenEye in 1995 or any time since then, correct?
The video game, though.
Okay.
Video game's legendary, but no, you.
No, I did not see GoldenEye.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now it gets interesting.
Even though Pierce Brosnan, Remington Steele. Oof.
Now it gets interesting. The relaunch of a franchise. 1996's the original Mission Impossible. Based on the TV show, Tom Cruise launches this series that just ended, last year?
Yeah.
And going on
9
for almost
movies
30
later.
years.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. Fred has...
Something in me says no, and I don't know what it is either. It's nothing he's discussed.
It's been on so much, and it's
I
like
know.
It's a part of the zeitgeist, Fred. I don't know how you haven't seen it, but I don't think you've seen it.
You search for a word and you land on zeitgeist and you use it to mock me, but it is the word that you would use. Go ahead.
There's nothing I can particularly pick out and say he hasn't seen it, but I agree with you. I don't think he's seen it.
We're going to say you haven't seen it.
No.
Well, you picked the wrong Mission Impossible because I've seen no Mission Impossibles except for Mission Impossible 1.
Damn it!
Which I question because I told you that I'll never watch another Mission Impossible again because how did he fashion a mask out of the guy's face on the train?
3D printer.
Yeah.
You just brought a bunch of equipment on the train and said, knock it out?
Hey. The IMF has all this.
Did it.
The IMF has all of these things readily available.
They're unbelievable. The EMF. Go ahead.
Okay, another one that let's see if Fred can identify from. Maybe it's a terrible movie, by the way. It's a terrible movie. It's the best action movie though of 1997. An iconic line from the movie.
Make a move and the bunny gets it.
Make a move and the bunny gets it.
No clue. No clue. I honestly have no clue. This is not part of the zeitgeist, obviously.
Nicolas Cage with long hair.
No idea.
Oh, okay.
I think I might know the name of it, but I haven't seen it.
Steve Buscemi, John Cusack, John Malkovich.
I know the name of it. I haven't seen
Rames.
it. It's Con Air, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
That kind of goes against what we were trying to do there.
And this is an example, Hardy, I want everyone to hold on to.
You and I both know he didn't see it.
Okay, so wait. So I want everyone to this is an example of something. You described the movie. You said who was in it. I was able to name the movie, although I have not seen it. This is something that fascinates me about people that are just I know about it because it's referenced in culture a lot. So I'm able to deduce what you're talking about due to the facts. I am fascinated with people, and this isn't a shot at you, John. I just used deduce to bust balls. Is people that like aren't aware of something that's referenced all the time, even though they haven't seen it. Like that's fascinating to me. Like if it's been used in jokes or a Saturday Night Live impression, like I kind of can figure it out. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Is Nicolas Cage's character Cameron Poe in that movie?
Very good, John. I believe it is.
I have probably seen 2 Nicolas Cage movies in my life. Leaving Las Vegas, of course.
Ghost Rider, right?
And you're right. And Ghost Rider. Thank you.
Valley Girl.
Valley Girl.
Hey.
Those are the 2 movies
Wow.
I've seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Valley Girl used to put on at this girl's house, and then
You never saw Honeymoon in Vegas with Sarah Jessica Parker and Jimmy Caan?
nope.
It's a good movie.
Never seen that. And
I'm
I've never
sure that's
seen
so
Raising
great.
Arizona. I've never seen a lot of these
Oh,
Raising Arizona is a good movie.
you'd love her.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona.
I bet you I wouldn't. You know why? Because you two have said to like it.
How about
No.
how about a movie that you would like? A script that was punched up and polished by none other than David Mamet. Yeah, David Mamet. I ran into him at Johnny's Diner. I said, I'm working on a script.
Full frontal male nudity can do, Mammoth.
David Mamet helped write the script for the movie Ronin,
Oh, God.
starring Robert De Niro. You haven't seen Ronin, Wallach?
Who's his co-star in that?
Nobody
Is
you
it
know.
Weird Al
Edward
Yankovic.
Norton? Where's the one with Edward Norton? Isn't that the one? Is it
No,
not
no, no.
Ronin?
That's the score.
Okay, that's different.
Also a good movie.
He has not seen Ronin.
No, okay.
No.
Good movie, though. All right, finally. Fred, come on.
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Now listen. Talk about zeitgeist.
Yeah.
This is something you can't avoid. I mean, this is late 90s. This is 1999. Fred should have been coming out of his self-imposed fog and avoidance of popular culture. Has he seen, Fred, the movie is?
The Matrix. And I know that because all my favorite bloggers and people that make videos reference this as political terms.
Has he seen The Matrix, John Wallach?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he hasn't seen it. Or if he did, he was like forced to go.
All right, you and I are deadlocked in a tie. To me, the action is the juice.
Okay.
Heat.
Also from the 90s. Good
Also
movie.
from the 90s.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I never saw Heat.
I'm going to say Fred has seen The Matrix.
I don't think you've seen it. I think you have studiously avoided it.
The Matrix DVD sat atop my father's and still does for almost 20 years on top of his entertainment system at his house in his theater room. And yet, I have never, ever put that into the DVD player. I have never seen 1 second of that in film form.
That's right, Freddie T. That's right. That's right.
Nor will I ever.
That's
see
right.
The Matrix.
It's a good
I
movie.
told you.
It has become an insufferable political metaphor, which I can't take.
Yeah.
Every moron who thinks every Lifshats out there is it talks about you've been blue pilled or red pilled, whatever it is. And I am proud that I don't know if the blue or red one, even though you just played it, which one makes you a political genius, where you see all the conspiracy happening around you. And you figure that when you take your shoes off and stand on dirt, it somehow manipulates your cells to work better.
Oh, my God. So you really don't know what the Matrix is?
I can tell you from it being part of the zeitgeist about the blue and red pill, even though I don't remember which one does which.
They call it the seed oil.
But I do.
Don't eat red meat. Don't eat red meat. Don't use butter.
Yeah, don't eat red meat. Hello, don't eat red meat. They told me that when I was I was writing my first play.
The morning show hasn't contacted me over that take. I don't know why.
They haven't talked to me about it, just like my grandmother after she saw my first theater work.
Organic potato.
Organic potato. It's not a potato, it's a potato. It's got probiotics in it. If you're not eating probiotics, you're dying.
Well done, Wallach. You won.
Damn it. Yeah, Hardy don't like that.
I don't.
Hardy doesn't like that. All right, very good. We will be back. You notice not one woman called.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I mean, Zoe's here. I could ask her as a 15-year-old if she finds this man handsome, but who knows? Who knows if she would be honest when put on the spot like that? So, again, every woman I meet that says, oh, yeah, women listen to the show. No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
No.
You all listen when Maddie was on, but other than that, you ain't listening. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Visit the
Ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider.
I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited. Just a new slate. I feel like, some things happening, in my life, you feel me, on the field and off the field. I just feel like it's my time to go, and I'm ready for this season.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Before we get to the audio from Mike Vrabel, Glenn Powell, no one knows who he is, I would imagine, but he is in a remake that's coming out of The Running Man. He was in Twisters. He was in Top Gun. Now, he's undeniably handsome, but I'm wondering if he's the man of fantasy that for women, because women can sometimes have proclivities that maybe he's a little too vanilla for them. Go ahead.
Apparently, he was in some romantic comedy with Sydney Sweeney.
Well, that is what, and I put the challenge out to see if females were listening, and 2 females have called in, so it's a great day for us.
Hey,
Kristen, hello, Kristen.
Hello.
How are you? Thank you so much for calling in.
Of course. I was so sad that no other females were calling in because I definitely have an opinion and I listen to you guys every single day. So.
Oh, thank you, Kristen. All right, so Glenn Powell, I am of the mind that he's undeniably an attractive man, but is he the man of women fantasy or is he too plain? Go ahead.
No, so he's very attractive, don't get me wrong, but ever since that Sydney Sweeney movie and then he ended his engagement or whatever, I don't know, he just is slimy now and not attractive in the fantasy type guy anymore.
The breaking off of the engagement does a lot to hinder his attractiveness.
So, Kristen, so you don't fantasize based entirely on the physical attributes of a man. You have to envision like a backstory on them being like faithful.
No, but just if you're gonna cheat on somebody, that seems a little like red flaggish. So
did he cheat it with Sydney Sweeney though? Because isn't Sydney Sweeney engaged?
No, she broke off her engagement too.
Oh no! So is she with Glenn Powell?
So, I don't know.
Oh well, that's Kristen. Please do some research and call back. I am fat, but I do know you women. You have to have a backstory. There has to be some idea that there is what happens post-relationship and pre-relationship. There's a lot of I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed. Rebecca, hello, Rebecca.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you, Rebecca, for calling in. I appreciate it.
I was also rather disappointed that no other females had called in this morning. So
Well, thank you for
Kristen
taking
and I
the
are
ball.
on the same page.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So this Glenn Powell fella, undeniably attractive, but is he the man of fantasy or is he too plain?
I mean, I don't know about the cheating. One thing that I had found out about him a while ago that I thought was very attractive was he always takes his parents to like the movie premieres.
You guys
And
are
he always says
unbelievable.
things.
So your fantasies are unbelievable. They really are.
You people.
I'm telling you, your whole
It's
sex
not
is.
all about looks.
I know that, and that's kind of my point in all of this, is that I find it so funny that if you're going to fantasize about someone, like, his parents would be part of it, would really be involved, and that shows that he'd be a good dad.
Good guy.
Right, exactly. Afterwards, he'd hold me, I think, because if he's got a good male role model in there, and he's got a good relationship with his mother. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. That is very funny to me. I don't like him because he broke off his engagement. So what? So you can't fantasize about having sex with him? I would fantasize about him because I heard that he brings his parents to every premiere, and that means he's a good man. There's a level there where I would imagine pornography doesn't hit the same way.
Yeah, it's not really a fantasy. You're kind of dreaming in reality here. Well, I could never accept an invitation from that guy.
I can tell you every man under the age of 30 is apparently fantasizing about having sex with their stepmother. So I can tell you what men are fantasizing about. So women are obviously fantasizing about a man with a good relationship with his parents. It's not a stepmother thing so much as the anti-stepmother thing.
Yeah.
Their fantasy is the day after they have brunch with his parents.
Yeah, the reality base kind of kills the whole fantasy part of it. I don't understand that.
All right, Lisa will be the definitive one.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, go ahead, Lisa. Thank you. I'm swimming in women. This is unbelievable. Lisa, thank you for calling in.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
I completely disagree with the other two. I don't care about if they take their parents out or not. It's all about the looks, and he's a good-looking guy, so why not? fantasize about him.
Okay, so you don't consider him too plain, like that, like too generic,
He
a
has
good-looking
like
guy.
a boy next door kind of look about him that I like.
Okay, so you do like that. All right, give me another example.
Yeah.
Like, who would be like the ultimate man? Like, just looks, all looks. Who to you, Lisa, would be like the ultimate man?
You said Rob Lowe earlier, and I was like, that's the one. I'm
Rob
also
Lowe's
in my
like out of-
mid-40s.
What
so-
about
He's like out of a lab.
What about Brad Pitt? Because I have feelings on him, even as a heterosexual man. There's something that would be a holdup for me with Brad Pitt. What are your feelings on him?
There's no way not to find Brad Pitt attractive, but I know somebody who met him, and allegedly he has a lot of pox scars on his face from acne.
Alan Trammell.
So I'm not a fan of that. But
He
obviously it's Brad.
It makes him
it's
attainable.
Brad
It's like
Pitt, so-
Jules. It's like Jules Snaggletooth. It makes him attainable.
Right. Right, exactly.
From what I read about him once, and who knows if it was true, he was going through he'd go like 4 or 5 days at a time without a shower.
Oh, sure.
Because it was better for
sweet.
better for your skin. But he just seems
obviously not.
He seems like he might be a little smelly. He just looks like he's a little too.
Well, he lived with Brandon Walsh before he was famous, so I mean, those
Right, so he has that going for him.
And so I would
Right.
imagine he showered a lot while he was living with him. He seems like an immaculate guy, Jason Priestley. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing about Brad Pitt. The actor Rob Mack, that's his name now, from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He changed his last name legally to Mack. He goes into the trainer. He's all jacked now, but he goes into the trainer. He goes, I'm going to get jacked because he gotten fat for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And he goes, I want to look like, and the trainer stops him. And he goes, Brad Pitt from Fight Club. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, yeah, you and everyone else. I guess in Hollywood, men saw Brad Pitt in Fight Club and were just like, ooh. It goes back to my thing with the action movies of the 80s and 90s. There's that, like, dude saw Fight Club and, like, the whole narrative was gone. It was just like,
It may have been
that body.
The one funny thing I've heard Bert Kreischer say, it was about Brad Pitt. He said he never thought about kissing a man, but he has a fantasy of, he said, I want to be kissed by Brad Pitt. He goes, and I want it to be non-consensual, and I want to find consent in the kiss.
Oh. Jordan Hudson is
He wants to
calling
be
in.
turned in that moment. Oh.
Jordan Hudson, thank you for calling in.
Fred.
Hey, hello,
Hey,
Jordan.
those women are crazy. He's way too young. He's way too skinny. And he's way too pretty. I like him fat and hoggy. I like a big old piggy.
Yes, you do. You like a pay pig, apparently, as you finned on them.
Old fat pig.
Like an old fat pig.
There's kind of a dick.
Yeah, with a crap personality. That's what I want. A humorless old fat man. Because they're closer to death. But sometimes the crabby ones live for a long time. You never know. You could go Bobby Knight on you, or you could, Marv Levy, though, is 100. He seemed like a nice guy. All right, go ahead.
All right, listen, we're not going to have to. We'll do the Patriot stuff here in a moment. But since we went down this road, I want to challenge you on something you said. You said you've only seen 2 Nicolas Cage movies.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not going to count Fast Times at Ridgemont
Oh,
High.
yeah,
just because he's in it doesn't make it a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, and I've seen virtually every one of these, from Racing with the Moon to Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh, I've seen Peggy Sue Got Married.
Okay, but yeah, it's kind of a Nicolas Cage
he's in
movie.
it. Yeah,
He's one of the leads.
I would guess it would be in this incarnation of Nicolas Cage.
Okay, Moonstruck.
No.
Oh, Fred.
Why would I have seen Moonstruck?
Because it's fantastic.
If it's not Mask, I don't want to see Cher. If they ain't got Rocky Dennis as her kid, you can go screw.
These things are good. Ice cream and cake, ride on a Harley, and the sun shining on my face.
Okay.
These things are a drag. Dust on my shoes, no money in my pocket, and the sun shining on my face.
Oof. Rocky.
Guarding Tess. Come on, you've seen that. Shirley
Of course,
MacLaine.
I'm not an animal.
All right. Leaving Las Vegas, yes.
Yeah.
The Rock.
No.
Oh. With Sean Connery. Not a good movie.
No, I've not seen that.
But again, on forever. It's breezy. You don't have to think a lot.
8 millimeter. It's about snuff films.
No, I don't like I've heard it was portrayed inaccurately. No, I have
and
never
not
seen that.
disturbing at
No.
all. James Gandolfini is in it.
Oh.
Joaquin Phoenix, good movie.
Hmm.
Gone in 60 Seconds, on all the time.
Never. I don't even know that movie.
Really?
No. Just because these things are on, Seinfeld's on.
National Treasure.
Oh God, no.
World Trade Center.
I didn't even know that was a movie.
No,
That's a
we
good
haven't
movie.
seen
They
that
must
one.
have rushed that out
Not
right
a
away.
chance.
It was 06. It's
It's before or no after? Okay, 06. Okay.
it's not at all what I expected. It's very good.
Okay.
It's very well done.
I believe you.
Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah, no.
I've seen Bad Lieutenant. I haven't seen Bad Lieutenant Protocol.
After
New
World
Orleans.
Trade Center, he kind of lost his way for a while. There isn't
Yeah,
a
like
lot.
this incarnation, I've really
Yeah,
not
no.
seen him in a movie.
The last decade and a half has not been good.
Well, some people are really into it. I just haven't seen him.
I got to say, the one that he did where he kind of makes fun of himself, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, that's pretty good.
And by the way, I'm not saying that these movies of late aren't good. They're not like in theaters. I really just go to the movies with my daughter.
There was one that was on every Delta flight for about a year, Pig.
I'm aware of it, but I haven't seen it.
All right, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't doubt that some of these films are good. I'm not making a statement on them being good.
All right.
They're just straight to streaming or whatever releases. And as we've gone, that's a flaw in myself, in that I don't have the attention span or wherewithal to sit through one of those. Like I watched the Billy Joel thing, but I consumed it in chunks. And then the second one was pretty good, so I got through the last hour of that one in an hour. Because the Chrissy Brinkley relationship is really interesting. In seeing that, and then even seeing his offspring, and his daughter, his oldest daughter is not unattractive at all. Or his daughter with Christy Brinkley is not an unattractive woman. She's looks good in the film, and she probably not that much younger than me. But she has the Billy Joel eyes.
Yes.
So it's like an attractive woman,
Yes.
but with Billy Joel's
I've seen
heavy
pictures.
eyelids.
I've seen pictures.
Like
yeah.
that almost deformed eyes.
Yeah, I don't care for that.
No. I mean, he's ugly. Ugly. An ugly dude.
Anyone who looks too much like their opposite gendered parent is going to be weird for me.
Oh yeah. He looks a lot like he doesn't look, but he couldn't get that relationship with his dad. Never. His dad was a classically trained pianist, but and he even made during his lifetime an album with a classic pianist.
Right at the end.
If you want to see an insufferable prick, I
Oh,
introduce
you know
you
what?
to the classical
I saw
pianist.
that. Okay, so Marcy was watching it, and I watched that one section of it, and he said classical reviewers eviscerated him, said it was garbage.
Yeah, but the classical pianist is describing why he had to play what Billy Joel wrote and explaining why he was the one who had to play it.
Yeah.
Because of his skill set. And you're like, shut up, dick.
Both of you.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Both of
sounds
you.
so much different. He wrote it, and I'm sure he just can't knock it out. It's too much. He just hits the keys too hard. The guy's you don't get a bricklayer to sculpt a statue or something like that, and you're just like, ugh, you suck, classical pianist. Good, you can play for the 5 people pretending to care. I'm saying no, I will not fall for that, my friend.
All right, we'll get to some of the training camp stuff.
Well, we aren't going to get to it next because we have to get to young Adam 12's camp basically is what it is. He went to Maine, and his big thrill is that he got ice cream. But Adam went to Maine in one of these things that's very inexpensive for him. And he went with his kids. He goes every year. But he had an experience that he told me about that Hardy, it does really play to your strengths and does play to your character in that you would probably do the same thing. But it might even be too extreme for you. We'll explain in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub. SportsHub.com. What's the best way to listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
That for families in need would give them a week of Wells Beach experience.
Hallelujah.
And
So,
they've
yes,
been grandfathered into it.
We have a nice family trip. My folks, my brother, my kids, and I, we go up for a week to Wells Beach every summer.
Okay, so you're up in Wells Beach, and you go to Wells Beach, I'd imagine.
Yes.
And what do you bring with you?
Well, I love going to the beach. I love swimming in the ocean and body surfing, and as you know, pizza boarding. Fred, a couple of years ago, Milo had the skim board, and we were going back and forth with the video clips. That's a lot of fun. But I don't love being in the sun. I'm very light skinned and I burn easily. So I have a beach umbrella that I bring with
you're
me.
A pussy.
Yes, exactly. Big wimp. I've got a beach umbrella, and it's one of those CVS specials that it literally looks like if you watch like a Looney Tunes cartoon and someone opens a beach umbrella, that's what this umbrella looks like. It is not fancy at all.
Thank you for making that statement. We would have thought you were a man of too many means if you would have said you had a regular umbrella.
Well, if I thought that you had somehow broken character and gone to Ocean State Job Lot and dropped $60 on like one of those highfalutin beach umbrellas, then my entire opinion of you would have changed.
Yeah, you haven't lost your base. Everyone's still on your side. Okay, go ahead.
So this, of course, is a cheap umbrella, and the little anchor on the bottom breaks off. So I got to go to Rennie's, and I got to get like a little fix that you put on the bottom of it so that you can screw the umbrella into the sand, right? So that it'll keep it anchored. So that's no big deal. That cost me a few more bucks, whatever. So we're sitting up on the sand when it's that nice soft sand that's high on the beach, really easy to get the umbrella anchored. And then we move down the beach as the tide's going out. So now I'm on a stretch of beach where I'm trying to get the umbrella screwed into the sand, but it's a main beach, so it's sandy, but it's rocky as well. And I'm having a hell of a time trying to work this thing in and screw it in by hand. And all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, from out of the people that we were sitting next to up the beach, gentleman comes down, says, "Hey, let me help you out with that." He has a power drill at the beach with an auger. What do you call that there, Hardy? The bit, the auger bit.
Yeah.
The thing's just right away, just drilling away at the sand. No problem at all. Just zips it right in there, and
not a gas drill.
And jams
whoever had that sound effect.
That's Cam. You didn't pull the right clip. Sorry, Cam. Look, maybe after it.
Go back into the sound effects library. You want a 20-volt lithium drill sound effect.
Yeah, this isn't right.
I can smell the diesel.
But the first thing that I thought of was you, Hardy, because that is absolutely a Hardy move. Is to there's someone on the beach. They might need some help.
The guy just steps in. Does he ask you if he can drill?
Not at all. Not at all.
So he just walks up with the drill and kind of moves you out of the way.
And I'd already kind of noticed the gentleman because again we're seated next to him on the beach, and I was making a comment to my youngest Cade that this gentleman and his I guess it was his wife. They were living the life. They had the big 4-post tent up party, like the one that you had at your daughter's graduation party. They had that set up. They had chairs laid out and drinks. They had some Evanescence, Bring Me to Life playing on their boombox.
They had some Christian rock.
It was a whole situation there. These fine Eastern European folks. But no, this gentleman did not. He did not ask. He just came down and he said, and he just kind of I don't even think he said a word. He said, or maybe he said, "Oh, hey," and just kind of zipped it in.
Because like that. In that moment, that guy identifies Adam properly as like, look at this like pale beta. I can make this man's life 50% better in one fell swoop here. He doesn't have a lot going on. No. I can vastly improve his quality of life here with just that. Here, give me 10 seconds and I will.
Not even 5 seconds.
Was it emasculating in a way?
No, not at all. It was a delightful surprise.
Did he take the umbrella then and stick it in the hole?
No, I took care of that.
Okay, so he just, and then what did he say after he drilled the hole?
I said, well, gee, that's great. Thank you so much. And he said, hey, no problem. And that was it. And then he was back to Evanescence and cocktails with his wife.
Okay, so the man hauled all that crap down to the beach.
Yeah.
The idea of having a tent or an umbrella to me is very funny. Like, you went to the beach to stop the sun from hitting you. I do think that's odd. But you'll go in the water where the sun is even stronger, I would imagine.
You just want breaks every once in a while.
Yeah.
You want in, out, in, out. I'm going to get a little shade for a while, then I'll go back in the sun.
A break, go to the bathroom. You know?
Oh yeah, hanging out in a beach bathroom. That's a good time.
Why not? Why not? You'll meet. There's friends there.
Yes.
All right. So you go there and you put. And so the guy brings all this stuff down. How much do you think that drill weighs?
It was huge. I mean, this was not like you're putting screws in the wall in your house to hang pictures. This was like it's a good sized, like heavy, because it had to be heavy because this auger bit he had on it was a good 18 inches long.
So say the thing's like 5 pounds.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Okay, so it's 5. You're hauling 5 pounds plus that tent.
Yep.
So basically, you're hauling like 20 pounds of crap.
And I'm telling you, he had a legit boombox. Like, this wasn't like a Bluetooth speaker. He had like probably the same boombox he's been bringing to the beach since the 90s.
When he walked up to you, did he have the boombox on his shoulder like the guy from
like
Bad
Radio
Boys?
Raheem
Listen,
you're going Bad Boys. Okay,
I went Bad
Rest
Boys
in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Radio.
So now, Hardy, is this something that do you bring a drill to the beach?
No. I've messed around with different beach umbrellas over the years, and I had the standard one that you would just crank by hand. We've gone to the beach canopy that actually uses sand in the pockets. That
weighs
go
it
down to weighs it down, and that's what we've moved to in recent years. But I love the auger on the end of the drill for getting the beach pole down in there. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and do you think it's worth hauling it to the beach?
Yeah, I mean, when the kids were little, I mean, I had a system. I could pack up the car for a beach trip, like P.T. Barnum packing up a circus trailer. I mean, I had a system of like
but it's
what
more
went where
hauling
and all
it
that
to the
stuff.
beach.
So what? You're hauling all kinds of stuff. You're hauling a cooler down there. It's no heavier
Why?
than the bag of toys or the cooler for the drinks and all the stuff that you have there at the beach. Why? Do you ever want a cold beverage while you're sitting on the beach?
You go to the lemonade stand. Now, it's funny because
I don't even know why you go to the beach. Stay home, pop a pill.
Okay. So the first time I ever felt old is even before my daughter was born. It was my son. We took him to, I think it was in Newport. We took him to the beach, and I had to bring all that crap down because when they're little, you do need like a tent.
Yeah.
So I brought all that stuff down, and it was the only time in my life, literally the only time in my life, I brought an umbrella to the beach. And I go, and I can't, of course, put it in because I'm me. And the wind takes it, and it blows onto these 3 women, and they got to be like in their say early 20s. It blows over to them. Now I'm like 32 years old. It blows over to them, and I'm like, "Oh, hey," and they're like, "Hey, sir, here's your umbrella," and they hand it to me, and I just went, "Okay, there you go,
sir."
There you go.
That's the killer.
Yeah. Not only do I have all this crap with me,
Yeah.
like Clark Griswold. Now these women that are probably 7-8 years younger than me are calling me sir.
Right.
Now I've become that guy with my hairy back. Be Real wants to know if you ran into Dan the Wagon Man while you were
Oh
there.
yeah.
No, he's at York Beach, I think.
You said that would have been very
not that
uncomfortable
far.
for you.
Not
that
that
would have
far.
been very uncomfortable for you. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We have more scenarios for young Hardy because he would bring the drill to the beach. He has not, which is a little surprising.
But I absolutely would.
But he would. We have some more scenarios for him we will get to in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube live. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Joe Murray is on live at night. The other shows, highlights, Alex Barth from Patriots training camp, all of that stuff. Phil Perry is going to join us in just a moment. But Adam told the story about how he was at Wells Beach and he was trying to put a inexpensive umbrella into the sand, and out of nowhere came this gentleman that was sitting next to them, and he had a big-ass drill with like a big bit on it. Not a gas one, though, a lithium batteried one. And the dug the drill. He dug the hole and just went like, "You're welcome," and walked away, which got Adam to thinking that's very on brand for something Hardy would do, which leads us to our segment we like to call...
Is Hardy gonna linger? Is Hardy gonna linger?
All right, is Hardy going to linger? Hardy loves watching construction. I can get into all of it. I mean, he finds some excuse to have his dog in the yard while he is, like, the trash guy's there, so like he can go out and talk to the trash guy.
Conversation piece as a bridge to get to where he needs to go.
Right, because the trash guy inevitably will pet the dog,
Right.
and then Hardy can come on and go.
And then he
"Oh."
puts the big arms out and grabs the barrel and shakes it and puts it back down.
Yeah, because in Canton, they're striking because they have to get out of the truck. In Newton, they know what's a good thing. They just have that claw, so they don't even have to get out of the truck.
No, we have the claw.
Then why does he get out of the truck?
To pet the dog.
Oh, but he
As I
grabs the barrel.
No, I just said he's got the big arms out that grab the barrel. And that's why.
I thought you meant his big arms, like he had big arms.
Yes. I was commenting.
Did no one else think that he thought the guy grabs the barrel?
Reno and Joey's big
I
arms.
understood
Yes.
what he meant. Yes.
Reno and Joey don't have big arms. You're saying that
I don't know. They wear long sleeves. It's
in the summer.
I'm not
Don't
paying
tell me
attention
you-
to what they're
oh.
wearing. Paying attention to the
You
truck.
pay attention to the uniform. Who are you kidding?
So what happens is that Hardy leaves his dog out as bait to get the garbage guy to come out of the truck.
That's what that is.
And then
Sure it
Hardy is in the yard. I mean, how much time do you spend in your yard?
Quite a bit.
I know, but I'm talking to John.
Not a terrible amount. No, not often.
Like when
There'll
I
be
had a
times-
front yard, which I mean, I spent maybe 0 minutes ever in my front yard. Now I played catch with my son in the street in front of that house recently.
Yeah.
But like in the yard, no.
Every once in a while, trim back. I've talked to Hardy, trim back the hedges so that
That's working in the yard. I'm
sprinkler
talking
system-
about just where you're out in the yard, like just hanging out. Like when someone comes by, you go, hello.
Never.
A lot of time.
Yeah,
There's a lot of time.
Hardy's very into like what his neighbors are doing. He's got a whole community. He's really a community.
Well, we were out there yesterday when neighbors came by, and
You and the handyman, or you and the mailman? Who?
I was out there with the dog, and I was, watering a couple of plants that, it's hot, no rain, and, the sprinklers don't get them. So I was out there hand watering. When the neighbors come by, they had their dog in the car, and we had a conversation. Does Scott want to come in the car and ride another 100 feet down the street and, come over? Because Scott will go down to their house, I would say, minimum 3 times a week. We go down there.
Yeah,
It's a little doggy play date.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, no, you guys go get settled. No, he doesn't have to get settled. I'm like, oh, come on, you guys go park, and then we'll go down there. But there was probably a 2-minute discussion as to, when the dogs were going to get together and how they were going to get together. And the dogs are going nuts because they just want to hang out. And, so, yeah, it's fun.
You had some
Good.
fun. You had some fun teasing the dogs because, who cares?
Next thing you know, Chris walking outside. Hey, what's going on? Dog's going to play. It's like, yeah, Chris. And, he's not going down there. He doesn't have a dog, but he wants to be in the mix.
So, like, some guys, like in movies, will take a dog to, like, a dog park in order to meet women. Like, they'll bring a cute dog.
Sure.
But Hardy's thing is to lure, like, union workers out of their
Elderly
respective
gentlemen who live nearby. Yeah,
it's like bait for friends.
Even when I was single and had a dog and would go to a dog park, it was mostly to meet other dogs. I just want to.
Well, I go to the dog park all the time, and I can tell you indisputably there's never been a woman that I would kiss, let alone have sex with at the dog park. All right, here we go. Will Hardy linger? Adam has written out these scenarios.
Okay. So I will tell you if I have and if I would.
Yes, these are all beach scenarios. Is Hardy rolling up to the beach with power tools in his beach cart to secure his tent, etc.? We already
covered
established
that, yeah.
you do not have power tools. But do you bring a portable air pump for floaties? Like to inflate things, do you bring a portable air pump? Do you inflate them before? How do you inflate things? I'm sure you had inflatables, not necessarily water wings, which are not good for children.
Right. I have never brought a battery-powered like compressor of any kind to the beach. I have pre-inflated, loaded, and brought them to the beach. So the answer is no.
That's weird because you would save space by waiting to inflate them.
I know.
Before you
If
got
not a big. Let me tell you something. Floaties, like inflatable floaties, haven't been much of a thing for a long time. Boogie boards, yes.
Yeah.
But like actual like blow up things, no. Even when my kids, they're a little older than yours, John, which is weird because John is so much older than me. and a little bit.
Let's see. His kids. He ain't gonna be at his kids' college graduations. Let's just say that. Right.
I'm hanging on for that. I'm hanging in for that.
Well, it's gonna be like an Ozzy thing where you die the next day.
I think even when Katie was a baby, like the inflatable, like swim assist and stuff was
No,
a
you
thing of
can't
the
use
past.
that,
No,
yeah.
it was all the strap on like.
Yeah, I didn't even use. You're not even supposed to use
buoyancy
that.
boards.
No, you're not even supposed to use that.
Yeah, that's probably a thing of the past. So no, I'm gonna no.
Okay, but I do have a question though. If Adam was struggling, you didn't know Adam, and there was a family with a guy who was struggling putting an umbrella into the sand.
Yeah.
Would you get up and offer your services?
Oh yeah, if they were doing it wrong, or I had a tool that would help them, absolutely.
Now, how would you say it?
I would say, hey, I've got this thing here. If you want, you get, wheel. I always use the inclusive pronoun,
Right.
when I know it's really me.
Thank you for using the correct pronoun.
Yeah, we will just use this crank thing, and we'll get that auger spun down in there, and lickety split.
And now,
Instead
what
of
is
watching you.
is there a physical feeling? I know that there's the mental feeling of happiness. Is there a physical sensation that comes from doing that? Do you
Yes.
get like a buzz?
Yeah.
Like a feeling in your stomach?
Oh yeah, there's an endorphin release when
Yeah.
when they put the. I'm not even joking. Like physical labor that results in like a task being completed. Yeah.
There's like a serotonin release.
That's my runner's high.
Yeah, and so you get like the butterflies in your stomach.
A little bit, and then once it's done, it kind of it settles down, but you still have that euphoric afterglow.
Yeah, it's like the cold plunge, like post cold
Sure.
plunge. Yeah, when you get out and you get that sweet cocaine like high, as it's been described to me. Okay, here's another lingering scenario.
Okay.
From the beach.
Hit me.
Is a beach lifeguard close enough to a city town worker for Hardy to want to strike up a conversation with them? If you're at the beach and there's a couple guys, usually kids in a lifeguard stand, or are you at a pool and there's some people in a lifeguard stand, are you moseying on up? They do have nothing electric really. They might have a defibrillator or something nowadays, but
Right.
Are you talking to them?
They have uniforms.
They
do.
They get things done. They save lives.
Position of authority, all
Yeah.
the stuff that really gets me off. This may surprise you. No.
Yeah, I would have guessed no.
Oh, you're lying. I absolutely
Too young.
Bingo.
Is that the
number
reason?
one?
That's the reason.
Too young. Number two, for the same reason, if there's a cop working a detail that is something beyond just barely looking at traffic. If there's a cop there doing an actual job, a security or something, I'm not going to bother him. He's doing an actual job. The lifeguard is supposed to be doing an actual job, not going to go up there and take their attention away from the job.
Yeah, you'll look from it. Would you, if the cop is doing the detail, will you admire them from a distance?
Oh yeah, a little bit, and see what he's doing, how much time he's spending looking at his phone, and to myself criticizing the job.
Did you make a note to call City Hall?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm
not a rat.
The lifeguard scenario. This makes sense
You're
too.
Scorpio.
Because think about it too. Like Hardy's looking to talk shop, right?
Scorpio.
And there's not a lot of
Serpico, thank you.
There's not a lot of shop to talk between Hardy and a beach lifeguard.
Yeah,
right?
I would have said no to the lifeguard. What are you doing? You swim well? Good.
Yeah.
They're not even in a union.
What if they're saving some? Or what if they're doing like drills? Is that interesting to you? If
Oh,
they're,
that
like,
would be
out there
interesting
doing-
to me.
Yeah, because I've seen that. That is interesting.
There's some things, Adam, that it's like, as a human being, we can't pretend aren't interesting. Like when we worked in Dorchester and they were doing the fire drills.
Oh, yeah.
Like where they were climbing that big ass ladder. I defy anyone to tell you that's not interesting. How is a guy being 50 feet in the air on a ladder not interesting? I mean, it's something you never see. There's a risk inherent to it. It's something that you wouldn't want to do. So seeing someone do it is impressive. This is not an example of, people doing heroic or brave acts. That is something that's obviously interesting. It's interesting to see a cop, too, just to look at the gun, like, in their holster. Like, there is some, like there were 2 cops at my son's last game, like, just watching, and they were armed, and it's like, it's kind of weird to go, like, these dudes got guns, in their right ear.
You know what I'm as, if not more interested in? What else you got on that belt?
Yeah, they got like that yellow thing that looks like it's like pepper spray or something.
You got some mace there. You got some cuffs. What else is that? What is that? What is that? A Secret 2 Pro flashlight?
But I
What
do
you
the
got?
same thing. I mean, I think that too is a natural curiosity. Like if someone's got a gun and a bunch of cool stuff hanging from their belt,
Yeah.
like you want to know what's doing.
What else you got there?
Yeah, like and then I think like, what if I had a gun? Like, and I was sitting here with a gun, and who knows if I do? I mean, I could have a license to carry.
Right.
Josh has an interesting point. He just called in. Josh, go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Hardy.
Yeah.
More and more I listen to you, you sound like the guy in the Progressive commercial who has to go to therapy because he's turning into his parents.
That's kind of the vibe that he does give off. He is very much a Midwestern dad. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
No, it's like, they have to have a therapist behind him, holding him back, telling him other people sorry for him intruding on their, get-togethers and stuff like that.
Oh, he's unapologetically a father. He's taken on all the tropes of fatherhood.
There's a new one I just saw last night of the guy taking the photo of 420-somethings in a park, and he's getting them to do all these different poses. So I'm very much available to take your photo if you have a group photo going on. Now, I'm not going to pose you or do anything like that, but it drives me nuts when I see my wife taking the picture or someone else. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're doing it wrong. Why don't you stand further away? Why don't you compose this picture even worse? Does the rule of thirds mean anything to you? How much headspace do you want between the top of that guy, that tallest guy, and the sky above them? Like, are you trying to ruin their vacation with this awful photograph? Would you let me do it? Just don't even try. Let me do it. Let me do it.
Let me ask you a question. You can guess the answer, and I can get validation. Zoe, perk up those ears. Tell Zoe to start looking at me, okay? Because you got to answer this question. Do you think I'm good at taking pictures of people, Hardy? Do you think that when tasked with taking a picture, I'm good at it?
I think you would be, yes.
I'm excellent at it.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Zoe will say, I am a phenomenal photographer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. People I've taken photos, Zoe can attest to this. People have asked, hey, would you take a photo of us on vacation or something? I'll take a photo of them. They walk away and they come back and they go,
huh?
They go, you captured
with
it.
a single tear.
They're like almost like, how?
Did you get paid to do this?
They're like, Mr. Mapplethorpe, how did you insert that in me? And I go, Photoshop. But we can work at it in my studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, All right, one last one.
Okay.
Hardy lingering on the beach. Hardy's out there on the beach. Every bit the Midwestern dad. Thinking about golf. Thinking about tools. He's Tim Allen. Little light road work going on in the distance.
Oh.
Okay, I'm reading this for the first time in a long time. On beaches where a good deal of oh, this is a good one. I did not know this either. On beaches where a good deal of seaweed washes up overnight, a giant dredging vehicle, which I did not know there's something called a dredging vehicle, will rake the beach clean at dawn. I did not know this happened because I go to beaches where this doesn't happen. I mean, if it's that dirty, I don't think I want to go to that beach. But would Hardy plan an early morning dog walk? Ooh, this is a good one. In order to meet the driver of the dredger. If you knew it was going on and you opened your eyes and you knew if you walked down to the beach, there would be someone operating what is called apparently a dredger.
Yeah.
Now, is this a big vehicle?
Yeah, it's a big, a picture like a combine on a farm. Right, but a little smaller than that, and you just drive it on the beach, and it kind of rakes all the seaweed behind, and you can pile it up in places.
Okay, I'm not going to exaggerate this for effect. I'm not going to say I would set my alarm for it, because I wouldn't have to. I would be such giddy with anticipation, knowing that this was going to happen. I'd probably wake up at 3, 4, 4:35, and then, yes, I would go down there for the dredger. I would go down there for the beach grooming equipment, which you'll see at some resorts, where they go out there and they'll groom the sand before the people get down there for the first time that day. Dog, no dog, doesn't matter. I would go down there. Now, again, this person has a job to do. They're actively doing it, and they're on the clock. They got stuff to do. So I'm not going to.
Would you position yourself in a place where they could initiate a conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if I had legitimate questions about what they're doing, and I.
Okay, so I'm driving the dredger. Put yourself in a make-believe situation, because I know I couldn't handle that. But I'm driving the dredger, and I stop for a second, and we make eye contact. What do you say?
Like, hey.
Hey.
Got your work cut out for you this morning. Is this normal? This amount of seaweed?
Yeah, it's a heavy day, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's abnormal.
Has it gotten worse over the years? Have you seen it change? How long have you been doing it?
I'll tell you, 1984.
Oh, yeah?
We called that the year of the weed. It was piling up like hotcakes.
What do you do with it? Where does it go?
I don't know, sir. I got a job to do. And then I move on.
All right.
Did you go up to people at the dog park?
Well, I don't go to a dog park.
Okay, because I can tell you I have in the past. And one time I walked up to a group of people, and I walked up to them because it was awkward because I was the only one standing away from them. And as I walked up to them and stood there, they slowly started walking away. They just walked away and moved to another side of the park.
Oh, man.
Because I had walked up to them. And my dog wasn't doing anything.
But I think you have a pretty good sense of when people want to be approached and don't want to be approached. Like my son and
I always assume they don't want to be approached, and I'm not doing a bit. I'm under the assumption they don't want to be talked to.
There was a guy hitting balls next to us when my son and I were at the range not long ago, and a guy was absolutely striping the ball, and you could tell he was working on something. So I waited long enough to where he looked over my direction after he hit one, just so I gave him like a nod and a wink. And he was looking. I could tell this guy wanted some validation. He had figured something out in his swing, and he was then absolutely had that ball moving. So I didn't approach him, but I kind of went out of my way to have some human interaction there. I'm like, hey, fella,
yeah,
I see what you're doing, and even though we're strangers, and I don't want this to sound like placating anyway, I'm proud of you. Proud of you for figuring that out.
We're playing golf at your club.
Yeah.
And they're watering greens and they're mowing. How many of those people do you think you can name?
Oh, at my current club, only a couple.
Oof.
When I played with him, he didn't. It wasn't, the women.
Oh, now
on
you're
cars.
just flexing.
You were invited. You didn't.
I
go.
wasn't. Well, I couldn't go. I was out of town.
All I'm saying is, I have witnessed this. He knows a lot of people at his club while we're on the course, but not the maintenance people. I did not see you hobnob with the maintenance people while we were out there.
Now I know the guy that works at the shack, and I was talking to him for a very long time. It impressed Maddie very much that I was that close.
Oh, I know, all the guys in the shop and the bag room and all that stuff, but the actual guys on the course, like everyone on the grounds crew. No, I mean most.
They're not
of them,
in a union though.
Well, most of them are they're very early and gone by the time I ever get to the golf course.
I don't know. They were watering the greens when Maddie and I were playing in the middle of the afternoon. Guy standing on the green and aerating it and watering it. And we were just sitting there, and I didn't know if he was playing or what because he had that aerator. And we stood in the fairway looking to hit approach shots, and the guy was just aerating the green. And I'm like, what's going on? And then Maddie's finally like, well, he works at a golf course. I suppose you're supposed to hit. And I hit. And he stepped aside, and the ball, didn't get anywhere near the green. But I mean,
I was going to say, if that guy wanted to be really safe, you should stand next to the hole. Your ball's not going anywhere near it. Am I right, Freddie T?
I think
hole.
I think that's just. It's not an outhouse. I don't know why he has to go low. I keep things above board.
That's twice he did that during this
I know.
break.
I mean, he's insinuating I'm not good at golf.
I'm punching down.
Yeah. He's talking about you taking pills.
Teach truth to power, not power to truth.
Let's go.
Man.
Mark Maron. All right. We'll be back. Phil Perry is coming on in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back.
I said, okay, now we can coach from our example.
The Sports Hub. We're Toucher and Hardy. A guy just called in, apparently freaking out at Nick about not talking about sports.
I think he's called several times.
Several.
I don't know what that's supposed to do. Like, I don't know why yelling at Nick is going to get anything accomplished. You're just it's psychopathic, not psychopathic. It's insane behavior.
Well, he thinks it's going to help him feel better, but in the long run, it's actually going to make him feel worse.
I always feel better when I yell at Nick, though. So maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, but there's a reason for you yelling at Nick. It's something that he didn't do. Nick doesn't control the content of the show. I don't understand why calling in several times and yelling at him is serving any purpose when you could just not consume us. That would be the alternative. It's just not to consume us. You just turn it off. I mean, that would be the easiest thing. That's what I can tell you, as disturbed as I am, that if I hear something I don't like on the radio, I simply move on. Like if Howard Stern's playing guitar.
Yes.
I go, oh, this is boring. And then I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Or listen to it, rather. Phil Perry, though, is sports. So almost maybe in a cosmic way, this man shifted the conversation to sports. Phil Perry covers the Patriots for NBC Sports Boston. Hi, Phil.
I will say, just so the audience understands, we planned this like 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
So
we were working.
This was not. You did not just call me up right after this guy called in, so it doesn't work. So nobody else do that, please.
And well, if you want to yell at Nick, it keeps him busy. But I will tell you this: it keeps his head in the game. But I will tell you this: is that Phil, we planned to have you on almost 24 hours ago. Let's call it 22 hours ago. We made the plan to call you and ask you to come on. So it's even longer than that. But I don't know when you accepted, but this is the thing. But we're very fortunate you did. Phil, how is camp so far for you? How are things different than last year?
Camp for me is great. I always like this time of year, able to learn a ton about the team that we're about to watch for this season. It is different. I would say in some respects, it's a little easier physically. Which people might be surprised to hear because of, I think, just what is in people's minds' eyes about Mayo and how he went about his job. But if you remember this time last year, I don't know if it was, in some ways his response to being the guy after Belichick and not wanting to be labeled as sort of a softer coach, but they had a pretty hard camp. They were tackling to the ground at times, a lot of goal line stuff, full contact goal line stuff, which we still really haven't seen in this camp. And I'm not saying this camp has been easy, but you have seen guys like, whether it's Morgan Moses, he gets to kind of bounce in and out of practice when, he and the team decide it's a good idea. Carlton Davis hasn't practiced at all. And Mike Vrabel has been saying essentially that is maintenance. That to me is sort of just taking care of a veteran guy. At least that's how they're making it sound. So it has been a little bit different, much more competent, I would say, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That's the other big difference right now.
Offensively, you wrote about there's been some issues in the red zone. Is this anything more than an offense still finding its way with some new personnel and everybody acclimating to Josh McDaniels, or is there something else going on?
I think, I think you have to start with the talent. I don't see a whole lot of people not knowing where to line up or people running the wrong routes or confusion at the line of scrimmage. Like that to me would be, okay, they just probably need another few weeks to get a grasp of this McDaniels offense. That to me has not been the issue when they have run into issues. The issues have been they're not creating a ton of separation, and they don't have a lot of guys on this roster right now that are just going to win in a one-on-one contested situation, which is a lot of what, for instance, the red zone is. That was a lot of yesterday. And they had a hard time. I was just going back through it. Drake May started out 1 for 6 in competitive low red zone. So they were at the 6-yard line and trying to move in, 1 for his first 6 attempts. And he heated up a little bit at the end, and he ended up making a great connection with Kayshon Boutte, who's been one of the surprises of camp to me. But a great connection with Boutte in the back corner of the end zone, sort of threw it off his back foot in the face of pressure, and Boutte was able to make a beautiful toe-tapping kind of grab. But this to me is just sort of indicative of what the problem will be for this team this year, unless they're able to make a high-profile addition. I think they just, in terms of the talent, are going to have one of the bottom teams in the league when it comes to their weaponry and their pass catchers specifically. I think the running back room is pretty good, but in terms of their pass catchers, you stack them up against most other teams in the league, and there might be one or two, and that might be generous, that are worse than them in terms of their overall talent. So I think that's going to be an issue for them all season.
Okay, so to follow up on that, how do you feel? The offensive line to me seems to be a very big problem. How do you feel about two rookies on the left side protecting your franchise quarterback? And kind of a follow-up, how has the pass protection been since camp started?
I think it's been okay. And I think, relative to the receiver room, if you're talking about, again, if you wanted to stack it up relative to the other 32 NFL teams, I think they would be significantly better on the line than they are with their pass catchers. I would rank them, and who knows, right? The season hasn't even started yet. They might have two rookies starting, as you mentioned, John. But to me, they're so much better than they were there last year. They're not elite, and they're not, I would say, even good. They're probably still below average, but they're not last in the league, which is where they were. Yeah, I think they could be functional.
I
think they could be, and even with the two rookies, Jared Wilson, I said the other day, he had a little bit of a down day in terms of the one-on-ones. He wasn't quite as dominant as he was during one practice last week, where he just stopped cold both Christian Barmore, he actually did it to Barmore twice, and Milton Williams. So that's your two best interior defenders, and they couldn't budge Jared Wilson in the one-on-ones. Again, he was a little bit more lenient yesterday, and that's just going to be how it goes for rookie offensive linemen. But, I think even if it's two rookies there, you're going to have upgrades at both left guard and left tackle. Campbell's been a little bit more up and down to me. And the surprising thing to me with him is, I think he's a great athlete, and his athletic testing would suggest as much. And you can see him sort of recover if he doesn't have a great start of a rep or start of a play against a certain defender. He does have this ability to move his feet and try to recover, and he has enough in the way of strength to be able to still sort of get the job done, even if it's not pretty. It does feel like there are some technique issues there, though, and one of the positives on Campbell coming out of college was that he was relatively refined. And so I think they're just going to have to work with him on that. They've got Doug Marrone, who's a good offensive line coach. They've got, I think, 3 offensive line coaches total. So this is stuff that they should be able to help him improve on. But it just feels like he's off balance at times, or lunging, and sort of gets himself into some tough positions at different times. And you see him every once in a while lose a pass protection rep because of that. But I still think it's going to be a real upgrade what he gives you at left tackle, even if he's not, an all-pro out of the chutes, which I would never expect.
Let's switch it up to the D. Philly P. Are you concerned at all about Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez? Where do they stand?
Yeah, I've been a little bit more patient with how they're handling Davis in particular, and Gonzalez I'm not worried about, because we know what he is. And even Davis, he's got even, more of a lengthy resume in terms of what he can give you, which is, to me, representative man-to-man coverage on a weekly basis. I thought when he was healthy, he was really important to the Lions last year and what they wanted to do.
Yeah, when they were missing him, it was no good. Yeah.
Defensively, right. Yeah. So, for a team that is, in my opinion, going to want to play a lot of man-to-man, those two guys should be in some ways kind of the engine of your defense. And that might be sort of a reversal from what, the old football cliche is, where everything starts in the trenches, and they should have some help there too. But if you have two guys who can really, lock down a number one and a number two, respectively, in those two guys, that's going to go a long way in terms of helping them win football games. So the concern for me would be more with Davis, just because of his age and because he has missed time.
He gets hurt a lot.
Last several years, Fred, right?
Yeah.
It's been like 4 or 5 games. You can almost bank on it every year. And I think that might be part of the reason why they're handling him the way they're handling him. Okay, let's take it easy on this guy in July and early August, and let's slowly ramp up and get him ready for week 1 so that maybe he can sustain a little bit better than he has in years past. But that would be the real concern for me. At corner, I just think, and maybe I am mistaken in believing this, it's not one of those incredibly physical positions, obviously, where you kind of need to build up those calluses, quote unquote, that football coaches like to talk about for linemen and linebackers and running backs. Like, you have to get used to getting hit At corner, I understand that's part of the job. It's not the job, though. And so, like, if they miss a joint practice or a couple preseason games, that's not the end of the world to me, as long as they're healthy when the season starts.
Well, if you're Sauce Gardner, you can make a tremendous amount of money just not tackling.
That's right. That's right. Exhibit A.
Arm tackling, and that's even a stretch.
And I think you have to worry, honestly, Fred. I think you have to worry about that a little bit if you're Vrabel and the coaching staff, that somebody like Christian Gonzalez, who hasn't yet gotten that payday, sees that performance last year, and that was by far his worst year of the 3 years he's been in the NFL, and he was not sacrificing the body. It felt like there were a series of business decisions getting made there, and you've got to make it known to Gonzalez, hey, we still need you to do all this other stuff. Trust us, you'll get paid, but you do need to tackle every once in a while.
Yeah, so if you don't know what Phil Perry's talking about, I'm impressed because he's watched Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner last season was not tackling. And that's an exaggeration. You don't know what you're talking about. Phil will attest. He was literally not tackling. Like, he would stay in a standing position, kind of ole, and then, like, grab with hands. Like, even an idiot like me is like, what's going on? So hopefully now that he's paid, maybe that stops. And finally, you talk about red zone performance, you talk about quarterbacks. There's this kind of backlash now against the narrative of quarterbacks' statistical performance in practice. And the way this is presented, Phil, is that, mistakes are to be made in practice. They're practicing things almost deliberately so the quarterback will make mistakes so they can kind of learn from them. They're doing high danger plays maybe and stuff like that. Do you buy into that, or is that something that you're kind of 50-50 on? How do you judge quarterback statistics in the preseason?
Yeah, I don't think you can just look at them and look at the numbers and look at a completion percentage and say good or bad, right? I do think it's valuable to keep those numbers and to present them to people that don't have an opportunity to watch these practices. It's a weird time of year in that we get as much information as we'll ever get all season by being able to watch these full practices in terms of what's going on behind the scenes. And yet the fans, for the most part, it's obviously free to show up and you can watch if you have the time to do it. But for the most part, fans are completely in the dark. So for me, more information is better as long as it comes with context. So when we're talking about it on the radio or on our podcasts or on our TV shows, we're careful to point out, okay, today was a red zone heavy day. What happens in the red zone tends to be more condensed spaces and tighter windows, and the completion percentages across the board in the regular season, preseason, what have you, are going to be a little bit lower in the red zone. So now okay, he went 57% yesterday is what I had Drake May at, and that was a combination of 2-minute and red zone. And you got some third downs mixed in there where you're going to see more exotic looks in the way of pass rush and games at the line of scrimmage that maybe the offensive line hasn't seen all summer. So, I think it's okay to keep the stats. I understand, you've got the gatekeepers out there and the former players out there who say, what are you doing? Because, they don't want to be criticized. And I get that too. But I think as long as you're providing some context, then, we can all be adults about it and sort of take it for what it is.
Well, I'm interested in it. Certainly people are interested in it. People are ready for football to start, and this is a good appetizer. Phil Perry, we look forward to having you in studio once a week. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you so much, Phil, from NBC Sports Boston. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Talk
Thanks,
to you soon.
Phil.
I appreciate it, Phil. Thank you. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning and went on to their 6th straight win, 8-5 over Kansas City at Fenway Park in the opener of a 3-game series. Jarren Duran, a 3-run homer. Garrett Crochet will start against the Royals tonight. In other Sox news, Roman Anthony, a late scratch with mid-back tightness last night. He's expected to sit out tonight's game as well. As for the Patriots, they were without a few players yesterday at camp. Mike Vrabel had an update on his starting cornerbacks, Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. Both will sit out at least through tomorrow's joint practice with the Washington Commanders. And Kendrick Bourne is out the entire week after hurting himself on Friday night. Morgan Moses left practice early yesterday. Practice will start at 10 a.m. this morning in Foxborough. It is not expected to be padded. It is expected to be a walkthrough. And Teddy Bridgewater back in the NFL. He's reportedly signed with Tampa Bay. He coached high school football in Florida this last year and won a state championship. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Rob Ninkovich, and Dave Portnoy. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston Told for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
More.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and the Red Sox won again last night. And now they are solidly in the playoff. They are 2.5 games in front of the Yankees, by the way, who are spiraling out of control. And there's no way the Yankees are firing Aaron Boone either, according to all reports. I heard a guy yesterday, a Yankees fan, say that they should get rid of Boone and for the last 50 games get Buck Showalter in.
Oh, my God.
If the Yankees don't start performing this series to bring Buck Showalter in and not worry about 2026, just bring Buck Showalter in and said, get us through the playoffs.
Oh.
And also there's a fear that the Yankees will make the playoffs. They'll have to play the series at Fenway and then ultimately lose to the Red Sox.
Right now,
which they would.
That's what it lines up as.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, 4 plays 5. Top 2 wild cards play each other in the first round, and then the lowest division winner plays the worst wild card.
No, the lowest winner plays the worst wild card, and you have all the games at home.
Yes.
Right.
How old do you think Showalter is?
He's got to be 70.
No,
be 75.
I'm guessing he's 80.
69.
Oh, my God.
Hey, now. Hello.
Because I'm thinking, like, they can't bring him in. He's got to be at 75 years old. No.
Yeah, he's a Sparky Anderson type. That's a guy who spent a lot of summers in the sun. Buck Showalter. Yeah, not a young-looking man.
No. Also not the answer, so.
Yeah, the answer, it continues to be the bullpen. You saw all the new guys the Yankees brought in imploded their first time. Last night it was different. All the new guys the Yankees brought in pitched well, and their closer, Devin Williams, their high-priced closer, was the guy who imploded. And Texas had a walk-off.
And what's funny is that, by the way, anything that happens in this series is beneficial for the Red Sox. They can't really lose. Whoever loses, it's bad for them.
Yeah.
And whoever wins, it's bad for them. Bad for the Red Sox. So there you go. But the Yankees, their defensive inability to perform is more fascinating than anything the Red Sox have done. I mean, they're a mess. A real mess. I mean, first of all, they're not overly good. And second of all, they're not playing defensive. They're not playing fundamentally sound baseball. So it's a real disaster. And it couldn't be more perfect because, again, every national broadcaster is a Nick and Yankee fan.
Right.
That's down the line.
Well,
so hearing people freak out about the Yankees is enjoyable to me.
We knew how valuable Aaron Judge was. I mean, you just look what's happened to them. In the field, too. You take him out of that lineup, and they are lost. I mean, really lost. And they're bringing in guys. It's kind of a patch job, on a tire. This is what's happening until Aaron Judge can make it back. And when Judge makes it back, he's still not going to play the field because he can't throw. So I don't know how the Yankees fix this. I need to see this coming last month. I'll tell you that.
But I'll tell you this: if it is the Yankees Red Sox, I mean, you like the Red Sox in that all day, right?
Yes.
I don't think there's a way the Yankees can beat the Red Sox.
Yes, and we were talking about how Seattle has a better pitching staff, and Texas now, after getting Merrill Kelly, has a better pitching staff. The Yankees do not.
No, they do not.
The Yankees have Max Fried, who
and that's it.
Theoretically can hold his own with Crochet in a game one.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only starter that they have. And they didn't add a starter, obviously, at the deadline. So they are in big trouble. And the bullpen pieces, as John mentioned, have imploded. And that's been happening a lot, actually. Some of these pieces have imploded. I mean, we saw a guy that was traded for last night pitch for the Royals.
Yep.
And he was terrible.
First inning, he was really bad.
Yeah. And so, and it's funny because you go, all right, well, it's their first start. And it's like, well, yeah, but they're not going to get that many. Like the guy that the Royals trade for, I don't know what his term is. But if it was just for this season, it doesn't really matter. But if it was just for this season, like, well, that's 1 of 7. Like, so now I get 6. Like, there's a lot of pressure on you to perform if you're like a deadline deal with an expiring contract. I would imagine that's not an easy situation to walk into. Here's the ball. If you screw up, this was like you really don't have any room for error. Like if you're a pitcher, we brought you in. You're going to pitch 7 times for us. Like, you screwed up one of them. Thanks a lot, dickhead. We're going to get like 30 innings out of you, and the first one is gone.
So
you screwed it all up.
Yeah, you would expect the Red Sox maybe to just fall off tiny little bit. I mean, it's like this is what we had a 6-game win streak now.
Yeah. Well,
21-7 going back to July 1st.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It sets up for an interesting scenario 2.5 weeks from now. 4-game set against the Yankees. 2 series left against the Yankees.
Yep.
This month, and then that 4-game series starts on the 21st. Just depending on what the Red Sox do here in the next little stretch, if they keep rolling, it takes a lot of the drama out of it.
That's the thing, is that if you're a Red Sox fan, like, all of this is money in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money in the bank. And it's it sounds kind of obvious, but I mean, you get a little room now. It makes things a lot less painful at the end of the season. Yes, Jonathan.
They still make the silly mistakes, like Jaron Duran misplayed a wall double into a triple last night. Ball hopped over. You would think a guy who
got
played left
stuck
field.
underneath the wall out there and
side
left.
wall. And there was another ball that Duran jogged after that landed about 6 inches foul down the left field line. You know that little thin strip?
Yeah.
Duran thought it was in the crowd. It wasn't. It just missed the foul line.
Yeah, you got to run those out, baby.
That's the other part of it. And just to clean that up, the pitcher that Kansas City had last night has 3 arbitration years ahead of him. They got him from Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Yeah, but anyway, they still have those cracks in the armor. They still make silly mistakes, but they're playing so well right now that none of it matters. It was kind of going back to that 10-game winning streak earlier.
Yeah.
They were still making mistakes, but it was as if they were been touched by a higher force. They're just playing well.
Well, that was a positive Red Sox break. Perhaps there's a reason for that. Perhaps the Red Sox have infiltrated 98.5 The Sports Hub. There was evidence of that this weekend, and that was addressed by the man accused of nefarious glad-handing of the enemy. And we will get to that in his defense of himself in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Look at you.
You know who's not helpful? Ryan and Nick. They don't teach. Adam will teach.
Oh.
I like to teach.
Adam likes to teach. He also likes to really get you with his socks.
Or,
today.
or in this case, indulge. Sure, you can pick a song, even if it's no one else is going to like it.
Maybe that brought
it's
us
going to bother us.
Maybe that brought us in the TikTok audience.
Derail everything.
Have you seen Adam? Adam's almost like wants you to talk about his socks today. Adam's got an outfit on today.
I have
that
not looked.
He's like really pushing it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's.
I
Like
think
acting
I've subconsciously trained myself to not look at him from the knees down to avoid socks, shoes.
Okay, so he's got a Red Sox hat and a Public Enemy shirt on. So you're like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a normal human being.
Yeah.
And then he wears like ball hugger shorts.
What?
And then
Come
in
on.
fun socks that he pulls up to like his mid ankle, and then his dumb shoes.
These are regular Eddie Bauer shorts. These aren't like the grape smugglers over here.
Okay, well you're trying very hard.
I told
Zoe,
you.
get to the microphone.
I like my socks. Here,
Zoe,
so
come
you
here.
can come and use this microphone. Here.
All right, Zoe, describe how Adam's dressed.
You can be honest. I don't care.
Just be honest. How is he dressed?
Why do you have taco socks?
Taco socks.
Yeah, taco socks.
Because he's full of whimsy.
She just answered by rolling her eyes.
Okay,
so that
you
gives
want to know
the
why?
answer, which
And
is-
some part of him, when he was choosing his socks, he said, "Oh, Taco Tuesday," and he put those
No,
socks.
you know what? I didn't think of that, but I like that.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
I like that. Thank you, Hardy.
in those shoes.
Might wear these every
He
Tuesday.
purchased those shoes on purpose.
The Merrills.
Yeah. Merrills are great.
They had to look like that, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I like the multicolor situation I got going on.
Four
here.
colors.
Nick, if I lift my foot up, will people see me on the YouTube stream?
Don't
Don't indulge. Well, don't talk about indulging.
Yeah, let's not.
Well, we're going all in now, so we might as well.
All right.
Taco
Well,
socks
you
and
wanted
my-
it. You
and
wanted
they-
it. You got what you wanted.
And they match,
Slugger.
too, so.
I know you. There you go. All right.
Okay, Chief.
If you want to see the shoes, go to DSW. Go to the very back.
Yes, yes, exactly.
On the discount wall.
I bought. Well, these ones
You'll
were the gift,
10
but I
pairs
went
of
and I
them.
bought
They were
another
a gift,
pair.
They were a gift from the
Yeah.
Lost and Found.
No, that I asked for Christmas.
Yeah,
I
from
saw
God.
them and I said I want those.
From
My mom
God,
said,
and
"What do you
then-
want for Christmas?" I said those shoes, and she said, "All set."
Yeah, he saw someone at church and he said, "I like those shoes." And the next thing you know, they were in Lost and Found and available.
And then I
in his
legitimately,
size.
literally went to DSW and went to the clearance in the back and got a.
I don't even know
same
what
pair,
DSW is.
Different style.
I don't know what DSW
It's a shoe
is.
store.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I gathered it was a shoe store of some sort, but I don't know what it is. All right, so look, getting back to the sports, as instructed by the caller, there was some controversy. I'm sure you gentlemen are aware of it. In fact, Adam, on this subject, Tony called you?
Yes. I was having lunch with my youngest yesterday, and my phone rang, and I was telling them, I was like, it's always unsettling to get a call from someone you work with who doesn't usually call you.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I wasn't expecting, and I like that. I would love if Tony called me. I love talking to Tony, but I was not expecting a call from Tony, so I was a little anxious, and I answered, and he wanted to know if we talked about this on the show yesterday. And I said, no, we hadn't gotten around to it because this particular subject at the time was being covered extensively by the midday show.
Okay, so Felger and Maz are very critical of every team, none more than the Red Sox. They certainly have a lot to say about the Red Sox and their inactivity at the trade deadline, their unwillingness to spend up with the other big teams in the league. And lo and behold, Jay Stu on Friday night texts out or tweets out or whatever the hell he does a picture of Tony Maserati, our own Tony Maserati, who's so critical and does the baseball hour every night from 6 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the box with whom? The majority owner of the Boston Red Sox, John Henry. Tony Maserati and John Henry, as Hardy would say, having a chinwag up in the owner's suite at Fenway Park. How do you get in there? What's going on? Is Tony somehow complicit with the enemy? What's going on here?
There wasn't, and the photo didn't show Tony, looking at him sternly.
Well, it's been
seemed like
falsely reported, Jonathan, that the reason John Henry came into studio on to Felger and Maz was because something Felger was saying. And that is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
John Henry came into Felger and Maz in that famous day that put 98.5 The Sports Hub on the map because of what Tony was saying that day. Felger and Tony's two proud to admit, and not proud, but too nice to point this out, so I'll do it for him. Felger is given, deservedly so, a lot of credit for that show. But in that particular instance, it was not Felger that was stirring the pot. It was our own Tony Maserati. Did that spurn the relationship? Did that spawn the relationship, I should say?
They're very friendly, it seemed, the two of them.
Well, I mean, obviously they're friendly. He was in the owner's box. I've never even been up in that area. I don't know what's going on. I don't have any friends, let alone John Henry.
Right. But it was tweeted out by there's one photo that has made the rounds calling him as either a fraud or, what's happening, or as Greg Bedard said, I believe, quote, tweeted the original photo, busted. And Maz like, busted for what? What's going on? What does he have to say?
Is he compromised?
What does he have to say?
I love people who say fraud, too. I enjoy that a lot. That's a word that I'm just spitting out every day. I think I might hate you if you use that. It's like being like a Grateful Dead fan. I got no patience. All right, here we go. Here is Tony Maserati explaining why. That's all. Why was he with John Henry?
Someone sends me on Friday night a text of you in his luxury box hobnobbing with John Henry.
Over the years, my relationship with the Red Sox ownership and upper management, independent of who has been there, has been what I would call hot and cold. A couple of weeks ago, I was asked whether I was going to the game on Friday night, and I said no. I said, but I'm going to the Astros game in a couple of weeks.
Who asked?
Right.
Who?
Right.
Was it Jeeves? Some sort of man-boy assistant
Guy
called John Henry?
Called him from his yacht.
Oh, Jonathan.
I'll be there, too.
You're labeling him as a rich man with this yacht talk.
Contact Tony Maz on the two-way. Ask him if he'll be in attendance at the professional.
California 865. Susquehanna 85000.
Raise Mr. Maserati on the wireless.
Raise the red flag and signal that a call is to be made.
The response I got back was, oh, well, pop by John's box, say hello, and he was
I
aware.
don't know what cartoons have to do with it. Hello. Can we have fun or no? Is that against the law now?
You're almost too much fun. It's your problem.
What do cartoons have to do with it? The second time around, you'll hear.
The response I got back was, oh, well, pop by John's box, say hello, and he was aware that I was going to be there. We communicated via...
Can you just listen to things without trying to find things anymore?
I don't know.
You can't.
I don't know why I'm this way. I don't know why I'm this way.
You haven't heard it yet,
I haven't heard it yet. No, what am I missing?
Do you get it? What if the reference was, what does Robin Williams have to do with this?
That also works.
Yeah, I could do it that way, Jonathan.
Yeah, what are they serving spinach up there?
Okay, here you go.
The response I got back was, oh, well, pop by John's box, say hello, and he was aware that I was going to be there. We communicated we didn't speak, we texted and emailed.
You have each other's contact info.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that? Nope. So we went up.
And that, I made this point, and now I am stopping it for a reason. I made that point to Hardy. That's kind of like Dickie. Like, this is eerily reminiscent of some things I've experienced with. Like, if you have John Henry's number, and we've been doing a show together for like almost 20 years, and you've had this the entire time, and you have this relationship with like a guy who's controlling all this stuff that we talk about ad nauseum 20 hours a week. Why haven't you told me that? And I realize they're not friends. I'm not saying they don't get along, but they're not friends. They said that publicly a million times. I know there's not very much communication, like face-to-face communication between the show, but that's something, if I was Felger, would really annoy me. Like if Hardy was, not now, but like 10 years from now, if Hardy and I were on the show and a picture came out of Hardy with like, Jonathan Kraft like in his box, it's even different.
It is different.
Jonathan Kraft's like, I've talked to Jonathan Kraft. Like I guess John
Jeremy
Henry
Jacobs.
would be Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Like Jacobs or Henry, I guess would be more, because I have met the old Celtics owners once too. So, yeah, those are like the ones that are kind of like, you don't even ever see him publicly. Like, and if Hardy was like in there and he didn't tell me he was doing it, because that's something, but Hardy and I are friends, but like if Hardy you went and you knew you were going to John Henry's box and you didn't tell me you were going to John Henry's box, I'd be like, unless our relationship was really strained, I'd be like, what the hell? Did you tell me that? That's like you're holding it hostage, that information.
Sure.
And like, this is something I should know. It just feels like something that if I'm Felger, I feel like I should know.
Yes.
Like you're going to be in John Henry's box. That's interesting to me.
Yes.
Why did you not tell me that?
So we went up to the suite, me and my son, and he was with his two children, and it was really just a lot of small talk.
Yeah. Meet my son. He's an old retired.
That's right.
He used to work the arcade. Meet my son. He's the one with the walker. I'm saying John Henry's old.
Yes.
How old are John Henry's kids?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Because Northeast Men's Health doing its work. I don't know that.
They're sensitive to the idea that they don't care about the team. And he said, do you really think we don't care? And I said, I don't think you care as much as you used to. And he said, I'm here all the time. Why do people think we don't care?
Well, because who knows you're there all the time?
By the way, I don't know if maybe that got edited out, Ryan, but his kids are teenagers.
Whoa.
I'd like to know
Whoa.
his involvement with their youth sports.
Speaking of youth sports, my daughter was on the same like little golf league team and they were playing at like Putterham, the Muni in Brookline, and like same years. Like my daughter might be a year or two older than one of the kids that was on that team, and this was I don't know 8 years ago maybe. Something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is weird. And what's also strange is that John Henry, my relationship with him would do the best for me out of everyone. I could start greasing the wheels of some of these colleges. I could use a John Henry in my back pocket.
Right. Now, John Henry also has at least one older kid that I know of, and it's look, none of our business other than to say you asked like how
like
old
one
the
of those
kids
extra
are.
Trump kids that you never see.
I'm not sure of like
those ancillary Trumpers,
all of the mother father situations, but yeah, the couple of different, maybe a couple of different rounds.
I'm the one who never makes fun of him and his wife. I've never one time told a joke about that. I don't find that relationship strange. I don't. Now the Belichick relationship,
yeah,
because John Henry at least is thin.
Well, did you say the drop in payroll's a factor there, John?
So
$400 million for Liverpool players.
So I have indicated that in the past. And the answer I get back is we spend basically what we've spent in the past. And I said, well, yeah, but...
Not relative to the league, they don't.
Right, exactly. But that's about the extent of it. I was there for, I don't know, an inning and a half, maybe. Since I dropped by the owner's box and gave them my perspective on how the team should be run, they've gone 3-0. So, make of that what you will. But, sometimes some outside insight and perspective can be very valuable.
Effing Maz.
All right, so it's, I can tell you why Felger's annoyed, and it wouldn't be why I was annoyed. I could care less what the audience thinks about Maz being in the owner's box because that's childish. That's, like, ridiculous. That's what Felger's probably pissed about is, like, you put me on the spot. Now it seems like we're, like, the enemy has infiltrated us. What would piss me off is what I've already stated. Like, you knew you were going into the owner's box, like, for how long? For 2 weeks? And you didn't tell me? Like, you were going to the Red Sox game, and, like, that wouldn't be of any interest to me. Like, I had to find out on the internet because some guy snapped a picture of you like a psycho that, like, is looking up in the owner's box like a maniac when they should be looking on the field.
I guess okay. All right. In Maz's defense, it sounded like kind of a half-assed plan. Oh, like, let me know when you're there. And maybe we can say hello.
No, he told him he was going to that game, though. He said, I'm going to the game that particular Friday night.
But they're not watching the game together from the box. It was going to be, once we're there, should we do this?
So, Hardy, you go to me. Hey, Fred, John Henry says pop by his box on Tuesday night. Okay. How would you like me to do that? I mean, it's not something that just happens. Like, you got to get to his box and be let in. Like, I don't think it's just you stroll by the box and go, how you doing? I don't know if Tony, because he covered the team as a beat writer, gets like an ass load of...
Who goes there?
What's the password?
A guard with his musket will stop you in your tracks.
Woodrow Wilson was a scoundrel. He's a two-faced bitty boy. But seriously, like if I have no idea what the hell's going up there. Where's the owner's box? Who the hell knows? Where are the boxes? I don't know. There's a whole thing going on up there. I don't know. I've never been to press. I don't know anything. Now maybe Tony just gets an ass load of press tickets, and maybe that press ticket like gets you in that area.
No, he bought his tickets for this game. It's just there as a normal.
All right. Well, that makes it worse. So that would really annoy me. I'd be like, so you've known since you've had these tickets that you're going up to the owner's box and you don't think that's of interest to me? A, you should talk about it on the air. But B, if that's like not something you're comfortable with, I guess that's fine. But you should at least let me know.
Make of that what you will.
So it would annoy me if I was Felger. But it would annoy me if I was Maz that it was written that he was the reason that John Henry came into the studio. So I guess at that point it's a push. Maybe there is a bit of strain in that relationship because of where credit is being laid at. I don't know. We can only speculate. And perhaps every day we should spend a good 15 minutes speculating on their relationship.
Did you guys know that?
Nope.
Since I don't talk to either of them. Hardy's good friends with Maz.
Yes.
But, and I like both of them, but I just don't, I'm not have a relationship with either of them. And that's me because of me. It's me.
I talk to Felger, too, not nearly as often as I've talked to Maz.
Well, you play pickleball with the man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Felger. Felger attempted a relationship very early in the Sports Hub. And
I remember that.
And I think I was proved to be someone that was not
Did you ruin that?
I ruined it.
One trip out to dinner, and that was it.
Yeah, and I started talking about it on the air, and I don't think
hobnobbing with
John
Henry.
Or maybe he just didn't like me, which I could see. My daughter can't. My daughter's like, why don't you have any friends, Daddy? You're so great. And I said, I don't know.
That's a good point.
Just that's the way the world works. Adam, teach her that. Well, she's back there with you.
Working on it.
All right, we will get back with the award-winning email segment in just a moment.
You're listening to
idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. If you ever want to see us, contact us via email, you can do what is necessary and go to 985thesportshub.com and get our email addresses. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. You can follow Hardy on both those platforms at Hardy985. But most importantly, and the most important thing you can do today, is follow your friend Fred Toucher at his digital juggernaut at Fred Toucher, only on Instagram. It's really forcing you into it because I'm not on any other platforms anymore. And, you know, that's frustrating to a lot of people. Well, I, for this email, Googled comedian podcast because I really don't know this guy's name that I'm about to reference. And Not Gonna Lie with Kylie Kelsey came up. So just to know that she's a comedian with a podcast. Not Gonna Lie. Just even the name is just so aggravating. Not Gonna Lie. How's this for another thing that sucks on the internet? That wasn't on my bingo card. So you heard that once, and now you're just
all the time, right, Jay?
So you're just going to start doing it now? You're just going to start saying it like it's like your thing, like your little cute turn of phrase? I don't care for that. I can tell you that right now. This is from Sean. He says, "Hey, Fred, heard your bit about how sports people who get near the president's commission should be afraid of the same treatment comedians got after the last election. That comparison was dead on. I watched a bunch of comics go from just doing podcasts with friends to suddenly having Trump on for the rating spike, and now that he's back, they want to go back to being regular comics, but no one's letting them. They touched the machine, and now they're part of it, like it or not. I don't totally disagree with that reality, but here's the question I keep circling. Should that be how it works? Is it fair? And maybe more than that, should they have known what this was going to cost going in? You make a strong case, and I'm not trying to argue. I'm just generally wrestling with whether the line was crossed should be permanent. Curious what you think. Appreciate your view you bring to this stuff. Well, what he's referencing is like comedians who were stand-up comics. I'm being very specific to this. Comedians that were stand-up comics. A couple of them started podcasts that became successful. So what did it start off as? Dicking around with your friends, right? And this is just a way to sell tickets, da-da-da.
Yeah.
The podcast starts making money. You start becoming a little more famous. Now you're doing arenas. You're this big famous comic. Now, Donald Trump in these cases, but the presidential candidate wants to come on your podcast. You have the person on. Oh, and I know his name, Andrew Schultz. In the case of Andrew Schultz, you have him on. You then speak openly about how he's now ahead in the polls because of him being on your podcast, where you just, in quotations, wanted to get to know him as a guy.
Right.
You then endorse him for president. He becomes president. Then you say, oh, I don't like what he's doing. I didn't ask for this. And I'm just a comedian. Then people play clips of you saying, hey, he's up in the polls. No one's giving us credit for having him on, and now he's being up in the polls. You can't put it back in the jar. You can't get the toothpaste back in the tube. If you want to have a presidential candidate on and you want to be Jon Stewart and have that be your brand, that's fine. But that's your brand now. You can't move off of it. You can't do that. You can't backpedal these things back. Jon Stewart can't go all of a sudden, I'm hanging with the boys. Jon Stewart is a political comedian. And you just thought you could dabble your toe in that? Stupid? No. Now you're that guy. Now to half the country, you're the guy that got that president elected. And now, guess what? You're a political comic now. Well, I was just trying to get to know what's going on. Okay, but you don't have the information to push back on anyone, regardless of who you have on. Whoever you have on, you're going to piss people off, right?
Yeah.
And Trump, let's not lie, is an exceptionally polarizing president. Exceptionally polarizing. For good or bad. My father effing loves the guy. Adam hates him. There's scales to be weighed, correct? Yeah. So there you go. There's two people in my life. I've given you both sides. But let's not pretend this isn't a polarizing third rail, which is fine. And Tucker Carlson and a bunch of dudes make a ton of money doing it. But Tucker Carlson's not going to go around and start doing penis jokes on stage and sex jokes on stage. He's a political commentator now. And what this all came up with Saquon Barkley's like really backing off Trump's request to get him on this athletic council. And I think what he said is it's not worth what he's thinking is it's not worth the aggravation. I got a bunch of crap for playing golf with the guy, which I understand why you played golf with Trump. You want to play golf with Trump. President asked you to play. If Trump asked me to play golf, I'd play golf with him. Golf with him, that I do. Have him on the show, wouldn't do. I wouldn't have Kamala Harris on the show. I wouldn't have Trump on the show. Why, Fred? You're a pussy. Yeah. Why? Because I'm an idiot. Not a pussy. I'm an idiot. If I get them on and they start saying things to me, I don't know the information to push back. They could tell me 1,000 lies. They could say inaccuracies all over the place. And now my interview with that person, because they're running for president, is getting dissected by 5 million people, analyzing it and realizing how dumb I am and that I can't push on anything. So therefore, this narrative in quotations got out that's false and has influenced the election. And then I'm taking credit for influencing the election. And then when it happens, and now it's not truth to power anymore. Now it's the power. And this is the guy I wanted. I can't backtrack. If you take credit for the guy getting elected, now everything that the guy does is reflective upon you. You campaigned for him. Sinatra campaigns for Kennedy. Kennedy gets into office. Sinatra can't say, whoopsie, my bad. I mean, you got yourself involved.
And you could play golf with Kamala Harris and invite Maddie, and all three of you play from the red tees.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
Because that's...
It wasn't my thing.
That'd be perfect.
It wasn't my thing.
What a nice outing that would be.
It wasn't my thing. This is Sam. Fred being hypocrite about word usage. Fred, I hate people that use the word fraud when referring to Tony Maz's pushback. Also, Fred throws around the word zeitgeist on an hourly basis, like Adam playing high-stakes Scrabble in the church parking lot. Don't get the reference, but I like it because I think Adam is probably a Scrabble player, and Lord knows he depends on the church for a lot of clothing.
I enjoy Scrabble.
The guy was calling in and complaining to Nick multiple times this morning about not talking sports. Alex said, your show is pretty good, except when you talk sports or try to do analysis. If your show was just sports like that guy wanted, it would be wholly unlistenable. All right, Alex. Well, we're here
David
to serve
says,
both.
this is a good idea. It says, Toucher, thank you for referring to me as that. Great show. Love the energy. Thinking of a bone segment. I think he meant phone segment. Having calls recorded of people who called and eat Nick's lunch and play it back. Like, if Nick could somehow tape the calls of people yelling at him and refusing to come on the air. Because I heard Nick say, why don't you go on the air? He was like trying to get the guy to come on the air. Like, you're complaining and calling over and over again. He's like, I don't know why you're saying it to me. You can say it on the air and get everyone to hear it.
Yeah. Right.
And get everyone on your side. And then, once you insult us, other people are going to agree.
You'll be
you
a
could be
hero.
a big champion of the people. If you believe in it. Oh, my God. Blind Scott. He does not like Jon Stewart, which is, again, comes with the territory.
Richard said, Hardy, good morning. Do you find the zipper truck or barrier transfer machine that opens and closes the HOV lane interesting? Ooh. That's from Richie and Hingham.
Good question.
No, not interesting. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Visually intoxicating watching that thing work. I don't know how it works, but it's fantastic. I mean, those. How much does each one of those concrete barriers weigh? A couple 1,000 pounds?
At least 50 pounds.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I struggle a little bit lifting them.
Yeah. Probably
So-
50.
Over your head.
Over my head. It's strong.
He's really strong.
All right. This is a email that will get you talking. I will ask you both this question. Tyler says, good morning, Fred. I heard you talking about rappers saying lyrics don't matter anymore. It is. I heard, I think Alchemist, I'd say, talking about how rappers on stage, because I've experienced this, just play the track with vocals and don't even rap over it. And their defense is, I don't care about the lyrics. It made me think of something that came out last week with Justin Timberlake's new tour. The video from it went viral. I saw it, where his song is playing and he literally just stands there and holds the microphone out and makes the audience sing while he does nothing. Crazy what we've come to. Now, I've seen these videos, too. It's Justin Timberlake with, like, a hoodie on, and he's really, like, laboriously walking around with the mic out, and he's not singing. He's come out and said he has Lyme disease. So my question to you is this.
You go to Nantucket?
Most likely he was hobnobbing with the nouveau rich.
The nouveau riche.
Yeah.
Yes, but then again, it is the riche that counts.
I mean, not dissimilar probably to the people that Epstein had pictures with in his home that I've just seen on the New York Times. He had a first edition copy of Lolita. Which you know the story of, prominently displayed in his house, which would be a weird conversation starter.
Maybe he just likes Nabokov. He's a big fan of his entire collection.
You have one book here displayed, and it's Lolita. What's going on?
Lolita, Fire of My Loins.
And then I'm looking
that's
around, and
interesting.
there's like middle school girls serving us. I have questions of what's happening in this home. And then you have a framed letter from Woody Allen. The whole thing's smelling rotten to me. But nonetheless, is Lyme disease an excuse for the performer having a bad performance? In that, I don't doubt the severity of Lyme disease, but should the performer not cancel the shows if not feeling up to it? Would you rather the performer cancel the show or half-ass a performance, I guess, is the question.
The latter of the two.
Cancel.
I would rather have the half-ass performance because the canceled show might not happen again, or it might be rescheduled at a time you can't see it if it's an artist.
So
that you like.
if you're going to see a guy sing and dance and he does neither, you're happy with that. It's just his appearance on stage that's important to you.
Now that you phrase
Save
it
the
that way, I'm
money.
waffling.
I'd rather save the money than spend an outrageous amount of money for good seats for a bad performance.
It kind of depends on the show and who the artist
Yeah,
is. If you're Toad the Wet Sprocket and you're just bouncing around from small venue to small venue all summer, people aren't planning their weekend around it. But a Justin Timberlake show or the shows that they had to cancel at Fenway, people had literally come from different countries for those events, and for those to be canceled for whatever reason, that's a huge ordeal. But
Well, I would go the opposite of you.
I would say, no, you pretty much go on with the show even if you're not going to be 100%.
See, I'm Riversiding you on that. I think that if you're a touring band and you're just playing clubs, that's when you have to suffer through shows. And if you're playing instruments, it's kind of like whatever.
Well, you have to suffer through it probably for your own monetary
Right, but
sake.
also like a band with instruments, like half-assing a show, who knows? Like you're telling me you saw Sunvolt, you could tell if they were trying or not? Like, I mean, there's some bands you couldn't even tell. If you go to see
but
a guy...
if Sunvolt cancels their show, they're not going to ruin the weekend for the 200 people who are going to show up.
But if I go to see Justin Timberlake, I'm going to see him 1 sing and 2 dance. And if he comes out and does neither, that's essentially going to see Bill Burr and saying, I'm just going to read from The Great Gatsby.
But at least you got a show, and it may not be as good as you wanted it to be, but if he cancels, then a minimum of 20,000 people are going to have their weekends ruined, and some of them like entire trips planned around it to completely upend it.
My reputation would mean more to me than the inconvenience of a few fans. Then you got to go viral with you just standing there with a hoodie on, just going, oh. I mean, he's really just standing there, like not singing. It looks like...
Looking like Frankie Valli does now.
Thank you. That's who I was thinking. It's like Frankie Valli. Have you seen Frankie Valli?
Yeah.
He's got
So
like
sad.
5 guys that look like The Situation next to him, dancing their asses off and singing. And Frankie Valli, his voice is pumping through the speakers. He's limply holding a mic about 6 feet from his mouth and just going
animatronic.
And that's
Like
essentially what
swaying
Justin
back and forth.
But listen, the family wants a couple paychecks. He doesn't mind getting up on the stage. You know what you're getting. Guy's 89 years old. He's not performing. He ain't, Chachi's friend. But I think he canceled the show. I'm very surprised in you two. Oh, no, you said cancel.
How bad were the shows?
Really bad. Like enough to go viral, and he had to come out with a statement that he has Lyme disease. Like he had to cut it off at the pass. He had to say, yes, I sucked. Here's why. I get one. But if you're going out and doing like numerous, like you think you can get through it and you can't, that I understand. Like, you just can't get through the performance.
You got to give it a shot. Say, maybe I could do it.
Sure.
You get out there 2 hours.
Maybe
later,
adrenaline takes over and I'll be able to do the show. But
and you can't. After you realize you can't go back out there and keep going.
You're hurting the
See,
team.
Timmy, okay, so in February, he canceled a show in Columbus less than an hour before it began because of the illness. See, to that one.
Now you're getting specific. He should have canceled it earlier.
Or done the show.
See, I don't think you do the show. I think you just cancel it. You go, I got Lyme disease. It's kicking my ass. I can't do these shows.
An hour before, and people are already there.
Well, no, I wouldn't do it an hour before. I'd be aware I had Lyme disease and go on stage.
But
before.
if you're on the fence enough as to whether or
if
not
it was
you
going to
can
be
do
that
it, then
bad,
you do it.
If it was going to be that bad, I'd cancel. It's better than going viral
I think
for
you
being that
suck
bad.
it up and do the show.
Well,
you know what you
didn't
do,
the
Fred? You
show.
know what you do, Fred? Do better. Otherwise, you're a fraud.
I didn't have
And
Hardy.
you'll no longer be a part of the zeitgeist.
No, you will be part of the zeitgeist if you go out there and suck.
I didn't have Hardy's cutting me to the quick on my bingo card today.
You have Lyme disease. We miss you.
Oh, that's The Simpsons.
Oh.
Well played. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Once he found it, he was going to play it,
Hey,
whether
let's
it
go,
needed to
man.
be played or not.
I searched Lyme disease, and I'm playing it. All right, very good. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy
Red
Drinks.
Sox almost kicked away an 8-1 lead, but they held on and beat Kansas City 8-5 to run their winning streak to 6 games. Jarren Duran, a 3-run homer. Sox are 2.5 games up on the Yankees in Seattle for first place in the American League wild card race. Garrett Crochet faces the Royals at Fenway Park tonight. Patriots are due for another practice. They will begin shortly at Gillette Stadium as they get ready for a joint practice with the Washington Commanders tomorrow and their first exhibition game of the year against the Commanders on Friday night. The public practice today once again takes place behind Gillette Stadium. Former Patriots safety Joshua Bledsoe is reportedly signed with Tennessee today, and after retiring a year and a half ago, quarterback Teddy Bridgewater has reportedly signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this morning. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, 24-hour on-call service for your clog drain emergencies. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
You're listening.
Got your finger on the pulse, Fred. Seldom right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
Kinda looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Dutcher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Real quick, Sarah from Everett just told me to shut that up. You're exhausted. And that was during the last segment.
Who told you that?
Sarah from Everett.
Oh, no.
This is interesting. It's from a listener. Patrick Wyman is a historian with a great Wondery podcast called Tides of History. Wondery just closed down, and there's a reshuffle due to Amazon's business decision. Here's him briefly talking about it. Video is important to building new shows now. They're absolutely right about that. But they're putting the cart before the horse. The show is worth listening to. If the show is worth listening to, and they've thrown hundreds of millions of dollars at people who aren't all that compelling while margins shrink, what are they going to do? Admit that Smartless isn't worth it and they made a mistake? That there might be a limit to Joe Rogan's value as the centerpiece of an audio lineup? Never. They'll destroy the medium and themselves before they do that. And then he says this guy's been wrote about this a couple of years ago. The writing's been on the wall for a while. Audio isn't dead. The medium has a ton to offer, but these companies have built business models that aren't going to work particularly well. And that is absolutely true. The mistakes these company makes just from being inside of it, not Beasley, but like these companies that like Spotify are to that matter, Sirius are making are mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. But they're throwing all their money at like the wrong thing instead of spending much less money on the right thing, and it's very interesting. And I know I've been in this business my entire adult life. I mean, I would know as much as anyone. I would have to think. This I feel comfortable commenting on. If I ran these companies, they'd be much more successful. I can tell you that right now. In fact, I have kicked around the idea of taking over one of these companies.
Why don't you do that?
Because I just love being on the air.
Is it?
It's my love of the air. It's my love of the air.
All right, one thing to get to here. This is a news story from the Wall Street Journal that says they're using audio of Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver in a screaming, shouting match from the movie Marriage Story. Or is it a series?
It doesn't
Marriage
matter.
Story? Doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
It was a movie.
How are they using it? Apparently to scare off wolves from killing cattle and scaring livestock on farms across America.
Huh.
Now, how does this work? Well, apparently, they need to know that humans are dangerous. I need the wolves to respond and know that, hey, humans are bad, a USDA district supervisor in Oregon told the publication. And it's called wolf hazing. So this practice uses loud music. They've tried AC/DC and songs like that. They've tried drones because they don't like things that are flying around the sky making that sound. But apparently, authentic or well-acted sound of human beings screaming and sounding violent is enough to scare off wolves, and that way they save the cattle in the process.
All right, I scared Jonathan with my AI talk to start the show. Now let's bookend it with this. Does it ever concern you that as long as humans have been on this planet, how much of what we do is just trial and error? Like, wolves have been around forever. People have been around forever. And they're still dicking around trying to find the right thing to scare them. Like, so much of what we do is just throwing darts.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, like there's so much that they tell you, like, take this. They don't know.
I've come to terms with the randomness of the human existence. What I don't like is the fact that all of us are going to be isolated and phased out of the way we currently live in 10 years.
You don't have
That's what
to.
scares me.
You don't have. It's up to you. It's really up to you.
Up to you.
But as a person is smart, people can be stupid. Correct?
But that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. If you yourself are personally scared of entering some dystopian world where you can't tell reality from fiction and what's real and what's virtual, go outside. That's real.
But there is
Fantastic.
but John, to your point, there is a society, and how would that affect society if people are making meta changes based on non-reality? That would be that's the frightening dystopia of which you were speaking.
That is what I am a little unnerved by. That is how Fred freaked me out this morning. Doesn't happen a lot on this show, but Fred, you genuinely freaked me out at about.
Well, there is
6:20.
an opportunity, and there will be every day will become more apparent that there is an opportunity for humans to live a life without interacting with other humans, solely interacting with their phones and computers. Yes, you could have a sex life. You can eat and feed and shelter yourself. You could work. All these things without ever interacting with a human. And every day we get closer to that getting more and more fulfilling for the person that's not interacting with the human.
John, let's you and I just go for a walk.
Let's go for
Go
a
out with
Let's go for
Adam.
a walk outside.
You going to Walden Pond today?
Absolutely.
Go join Walden
I want to take a
Pond.
dip. You guys can walk the pond while I swim.
Nice.
Okay.
Why is he not allowed to swim?
He's a bird.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.